Gompieno ya ka re tlile fa re tlisitse parlamente mo bathong. Re tlile go bua ka di-issues tse re tlileng go dila ka tsone ke di-issue tsa education, sports, recreation, arts and culture. Re tlile go kopa gore re nne le tirisano mmogo. Ha re reisa because re le fa parlamente e tlile fa e tlile go utlwella matshwenyego a le nang le one, e tlile go utlwella di-achievement tse puso e di fitlheletseng. Segolo mo re tlile go kopa gore mo le filang gore go sentse go nna le di-challenges le tle le ka di-proposal gore go ka dirwa yang go solve mathata a ntseng jalo. Ga ke tle go rana tiro ya today ke le one, ke na le a co-chairperson, Honorable Nhlapo from Gauteng province. Me re na le melawana e re tleng go tsamaisa tiro ya letsatsi la gompieno ka yone. Nako e latela gore ha re tla mo nakong ya dipotso re tlile go ema ka di-line, mme ke tlile go kopa gore ba ba re assistant re nne le di-line tse 4. Line ya ntlha e tla nna ka fa, I don't know, re tlile go nna le di-line tse 4. Ke kopa re direng se ka tsitsibalo. Re tle go nna le di-line tse 4 ya ka o tlhaloganya gore re tle go bereka go ya ka re batla go utlwella bogolo ba ditletlebo gore bontsi bo re ka bo kgonang. My plea is ke gore ha o botsa potso, just go straight to the question. O sa tlhalosa so that re kgone go nna le tšhono ya go fa batho ba bang le bone nako ya go botsa dipotso. Mme fa o utlweletse o le mo line mo, ha motho o tlileng before wena a boditse potso e o no tshwanetse o e botse, ke kopa gore o sa tlhole o e botsa because potso eo e boditswe and then you will be covered. Mo nakong e ke tlile go nna the co-chairperson, Honorable Nhlapo, go tla go introduce baeng ba rona ba letsatsi ba e leng gore ba fa ba tlile go utlwella ba fana ka dikarabo mo dipotsong kgotsa mo matshwenyegong a le nang le one. Ke kopa tshitsibalo. Honorable Nhlapo.
Ngiyabonga Chair. Sanibonani? Ngiyanibingelela. Umsebenzi wethu umncane kakhulu. Njengoba sekashilo co-chair, igama lami nguNompi Nhlapo, uChairperson we-Sport, Recreation, Arts and Culture endlini eshamthetho esifundazweni sase-Gauteng, Gauteng Provincial Legislature. Ngizoqala ke ngokuthi ngazise abahlonishwa bethu, ongqongqoshe ne-member of the Executive Committee ye-Education la eGauteng. Ngizoqala le esandleni sami sobunxele. Ngizoqala ngokuthi ngi-introduce umhlonishwa uDeputy Minister we-Arts and Culture, Honorable Phahla. Cela ubingelele umphakathi. Bese ngiza ngoDeputy Minister we-Sport and Recreation, Honorable Oosthuizen. Bese kulandela uDeputy Minister we-Basic Education, Honorable Suthi. MEC we-Gauteng Department of Education, Honorable Chrissy. MMC we-City of Tshwane Metropolitan Municipality for Sport, Recreation, Arts and Culture, uCouncillor Makgate. Ngizophinde futhi ngoba abantu bebekhona manje yibo laba kade bekhona ekseni, kodwa ukwenza ubuntu ngizophinde futhi nginazise uProvincial Deputy Chairperson we-NCOP Honorable Memela. Nomhlonishwa uchairperson Honorable Mahlangu uzosijoyina naye. Njengoba besekeshilo ucoach ukuthi umsebenzi wethu mncane kakhulu. So thatha ama submission eninawo ukuya ngama department wonke nawe naku national nizobahambisa lapha emuva ematafuleni angasemuva. And then sizocela abantu ke babuze imibuzo. Siyacela ukuthi ube straight to the point, ubuze izinto ofuna ukuzibuza. Uma ngabe izinto ofuna ukuzibuza bese zibuziwe, ungayiphindi futhi into ebuzo omunye umuntu ngoba abahlonishwa bazophendula lana. Ngiyacela ukuthi sihloniphane ke uma abanye abantu mabe raise izinto masingahawulani and then sitreatane kahle with dignity. Ngizocela ukuthi ngithathe 5 la and then 5 la and then 5 and then 5 and then sizobuya futhi for second round. Laba bokuqala aba u20 ngizonikeza ama honorable minister lano MEC no councillor Makgate ukuthi ba responde bese siyabuya futhi for the second round. Ngizoqala ngapha ngasesandleni sami sika right. Bhuti wami wena ofaka isikipho esibomvu ngaqala.
Sanibonani. Ukhuleni Masemula from Ward 29 Block AA. So the problem is now, like as youth and identify ukuthi youth is a problem ukuthi asisebenzi unemployment in yabona. So mina as we member a community nginama ideas I4 eluthi singawa implementa e community ni abantu abayang basebenza. So mina ngizakini I government ukuthi ninginikeze a way forward from the government sector ukuthi funding from kini ngizoyithola kuphi youth is khona ukuthi isebenze kunokuthi sibele umsebenzi from nini. Thank you.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu mfowethu olandelayo ngapha ngizothatha aba u5. Ngiyacela ukuthi into esicela ukuthi nizibuze ngoba sifuna ukuthi nibuze mayelana nale program yanamhlanje. Okunye amanye ama program amanye ama department azolandela njalo ngeinhlelo zakhona ukusuka kusasa ukufikela ngolosine. Ngizocela ukuthi nibuze izinto ezimayelana ne-education ne-sport recreation arts and culture. Olandela soqedile ngithi mfowethu. Ngiyabonga ngahlala phansi. Olandelayo usho igama lakho ubani uphumaphi?
Dumelang. Wa bolela mo ke na Richard Sidzinga o tswa ko plot 79 ko region 5 ko ward 99. Rena le bothata bo bogolo bo ba gaetseng mo re nang ona. Sa mathomo musho wa rena o patela rent, o patela sekolo se le reng se ko plasing ya motho moshweu. Ona le clinic e le reng e kwa le yona e patela rent. Ba tebe re gopela gore musho wa rena o ratang nko ko selo sa rena o tlo re dira di tena kwa le gore sekolo sela se move mo plasing ela se tle mo re nang hona mo mikhukhunya ba gan drive gore bana ba rena ba gone ba safe mo la sekolo sela se le ngona se gausi le moloto road ka makala ya tsora moloto road se killer road bana ba rena ba safe re gopela gore musho wa rena le ba ka ke tsora le di nepe makana ba tla ba to di bona gore a go safe mo la re leng hona re gopela gore musho wa rena tlheo gore sekeletse ba kana ba tla ba tlo etela kwa le ba tlo bona se ke se bolela thobe
Re a leboha butua ka a latelang.
Tobela dumela. Nna ke nna Jacob Sheila from the Vakhendrift plot 79 mo hot 99. So nna ke tlhalosa according to school ke magala ka ntšintši ba re botsa gore ne budget a re teng mo budgeteng mara gore se tšhelete e tswa e patela ko plotong ya lekgowa but mo budgeteng re se teng se se ra gore le sekolo se se patelang ko lekgoweng kwale se se ra gore ka go ko rena se ka se tlhagelele ka go baka la gore mo budgeteng a re teng but we've got 16 years re nna mola re bana ba le re holetse mola rena batswadi ba rena se ba godile so rena re ka se tswele pele re botse ba puso gore ne ba tla ba re thuse mola gore bana gobane batswadi ba rena ke bona ba ne le botlhatsi bo rena rena botlhatsi bo re batho ba le reng e se kale makgwa ba kana ba re koba mola so re kopela ba puso ba tla ba tlo re thusa mo Vakhendrift ke plot re nna mo plot 79 ka 5573 Mboloto Road. Thank you government.
Olandelayo.
Sanibonani. Ngimusofi Ntuli wase Rayton. Ngimu uSusan Ntuli wase Rayton nami ngihlale eplotini. Iploti leli sihleli from 83. Umama wamregister khona ngo85 wasebenza till ngo year 2004. Bamxotsha emsebenzini and then after that sahlala eplotini manje bayaskipha dala baskocha vele sihambisa namakhoto and then asilungelwa ilutho ngobana siyayisa inkinga zethu sisile e-land affairs sasizeka ukuthi sihlale after that sihlale 3 years kuvele okhunye ukuthi kose sihambe yabe yagcina isekhotho yaseKhalnene eKhalnene bakhipha ukuthi kose siphume endaweni manje sathola amaloyara wasembusweni amaloyara lawo asimela ukuthi singaphumi endaweni bese amaloyara lawa bafunisisa ukuthi umamami uhleli isikhathi esingangani usebenze njani and then bathi ma ibhunu leli lifuna usikhiphe endaweni kose
ngiyacela ukuthi ngingene emlonyeni siswami ne ngicela ukuthi ezinye inkinga nama submission elifuna ukwayenza okungasi awe Department of Education ezemfundo ezemidlalo nokungcebeleka namasiko yizo sokhuluma ngazo namhlanje ngicela ama submission amanye ninawo niwase lapha emuva khona amatafula.
Okay ngiyabonga
Kakhulu. Olandelayo number 3 number 4 njalo.
Thobela nake nna Hendrik Maribe ke nna mo dibibi mo social nguve nokunoko yitse kuba education ba mpotse pila ankere ba re constitution ya rena iri tshwantse re be equal ba botlhe so ke batlo yitse hore why bana ba FET ba di college NSFAS ba sa ipatele back and then bana ba university why tshwantse ba ipatele back yona chelete eo and the heke tla mo sports ke batlo yitse mo sports hore tshwane yona irileng di ground tsa sports di ka etsona ka re ko locationeng kwa a shiwa we dikolo di tswala di ground bana ba sana sports that is why hona ba no ho tsubiwa dinyaope ke ka lebakeng la hore le tswaletse di ground a le thusi community ka selo le ntse kwa tšhelete ya sports ya tswa la eja hona ba no re na le tlapa ya hockey Dangerous Doggies hockey club le minister wa yisi figi honorable Fikile Mbalula mara tshwane yona e re thusi ska selo re trainela ko groundong kwa ya basketball ku di FF ko Thokolentsako e senyehileng hone ba no re ja makhuwa ka sports sa bona re ya go second league ngwa ho tlang re khopela thuso o tswa molena le na ba tshwane le tlogela go lebella di golf Mayara a tlogela ho etsa di golf course kwa a tla a tlo lebella community from the ground level ka go bana ke rena ba re votang re khopela thuso.
Wa o qetela bo 5 ka mona ha ke tlo ya ka mone wa o qetela ska re dumellane a kere
ke nna ntate teenage wa majammo ko re jabo botlhe issue ya ka kopela le ba didimatseng
ke motho wa bo 5 a kere ke motho wa bo 5 ka mona a kere ke
kopa le ba didimatseng before ke bolele.
He was in the first group, he spoke earlier in the morning. And then
no but this is right.
No, but it is going to cause chaos.
Okay.
Yeah, ne ke re le ba didimatseng gore ba
Bengela
gone
ukuthi ukhulume phutwana ngoba ukhulumile ekseni namanje
issue ya ka ko hore mo areaeng ya Hammanskraal ne re kopa sports arts and culture college re kopa sports arts and culture college gore dilo tse re di dirang re le baahi ba Hammanskraal diriwe theory and practical ka sports college under education e lebeletseng ke Madam Barbara Krisi le Fikile Mbalula dirale practical and theory ka sport and culture in Hammanskraal please as soon as possible siatela
re utlwile he abutuaka re utlwile re ya ka mona jwale akere abutuaka before u bua ne ke kopa hore sibekezelane bengicela ukuthi sibekezelelane Sinikeza abantu i-chance yokuthi bakhulume sizwe ukuthi bakhala ngani. And then before ngivumela wena bhuti wami ngapha ukuthi ukhulume, ngifuna ukuthi ngisho ukuthi ngiyengayenza iphutha ngokuthi ngingasho ukuthi u-MEC we-Sport, Recreation, Arts and Culture la eGauteng, Honorable Maile, ufake i-apology ngoba uyobhala uzomelwa u-Honorable Chris we-Education Department la eGauteng. Ungakhuluma ke bhuti wami?
Le kae batlhompheng? Ke ngwa kwa bolela wa ko 37 extension 13. Our children, they don't have schools from grade R to grade 12. They use buses and private transport to go to school. If there's no transport, the children, they doesn't go to school. Number two, if they doesn't have money to pay the transport, they doesn't go to school. Most sports. Most sports mo area na mo na moteng ke ERF, which means ke farmer. He's a farmer that place. We don't have roads. Kamgo ilengateni le bana he dipula di nele ba banga ba e dikolong ka hore di transport di palla go tsena mola ke seloko ke mashimo. We need the proper roads. Moya sports, we need parks. Hore go ntsha bana ba rena mo dinyaopeng. All Africans hore le rena re gono ba fa matla re le di leader tsa di pleke a re rele bana ba rena dilo tse di ba tshwanetse re ba fe di phaka le di sports ground hore ba gono tswa go dinyaopeng. And also the teachers tshwanetse ba motivate from go dikolong le ba di business ha ba busa di tournament mo dikolong tsa di coach tsa di chepisi bana ba gone focus mo education le sports ba tlotlela nyao. Thank you.
Ke a leboha haholo. Before ke dumella motho wa bobedi ka mo ne ke kopa hore le tlhalose hore ha o rutla extension mamang o tsho pleke ko kae ko Soshanguve kapa ko Winterfeld o tsho rena ke mo kae o kana ba bua ausi wa ka.
Dumelang kaofela. Ke na Makgate Kambule ke tlhakele ko extension 10 mo Soshanguve. Na ke tlile ka complain ya health. Last week isitse ngwana ka ko kopanong a ilo circumcise. So then aka kra chance hore ke bolele na go tsela ba bolela ka health. So then ke re ke misitse a lo circumcise. So he re fitla kwa ba mo circumcise, then ra boela high only to find out hore ngwana a khathiwa pila. Ba re file emergency number. He re founela kwale emergency number ele ke ya ko Natal.
Ne ke kopa hape ke khutlele morao ke tsho hore mona re tlo bua ka taba tsa education, sport, recreation, arts and culture. Alatelang number 3.
Tobe. Ke Alfred Mkoka go tswa Ward 87 plot 175 Camel Drift East. Nna ke tlile mo ka dillo tsa go plotong ya rena. Number 1. Arna di 10. Ene ke gale re dula pleke re le mo yone. Nna ke tlile ke sa lo monyane mola. Batsadi ba rena ba sepetse ba ile magaeng ba shile rena le rena re sa tlo shia bana ba rena. So be ke gopela ba ba golo rena ba ba leng go godimo ba re thushe ka di 10. Ene di 10 re fending le ka no re agala di 10 la re fa motlhase re tla bona plan. Number 2. Ona la Apollo go rena. So Apollo ya ibereki. A re tsebo rena mmereko yena ke eng e tlo shomane.
Ke kopa hore re bue ka dintho tsa education, sport, recreation, arts and culture.
Ke tla mo tsone. So number 3.
Re bue ka tsona straight ngwana heso akere. Tsena tse dingwe ha re dirai hobane rona re government oi one. Le tla disa ka morao ba nna ditafole. Mara ke kopa re bue ka ntho tsa teng because the minister tsa rona tse teng mo ha mo le MEC ba tlo gona ho responda ho tsona direct because ke mandate wa bona. Ra utlwana.
Re ke le bantsheng engwe.
Tse ding le tlo disa ka morao ka man submission.
Re na library go rena kwa re dula. Mara library wa ibereki. Last ba ile ba ba re bula library. A seng ke ba fetse ba fitla go tlo bula library eo. Ba re le ba change date. A re tsebo rena ka mabaka a mafe. So ke fetsa gona mo.
Thank you Kialebo. Alatelang.
Dumelang kaofela. ke Joseph Manzini from Harankue, mo Ward 30. Nagel Joseph Manzini, ke tlo bolela ka tsa art and culture mo elong hore re a ira ko rena kwa le but re irela mo plekeng e leng hore a ra dume a se ya rena a ya re le bana. So re lekile re khopetse fela mo councilora wa rutlwetse motlhoko a ra di ma pleke e leng hore ke ya community hall e berekisang ke motho mang le mang, and then se re se irang ke se e leng hore he re ne le bana re ba ruta dilo tsa art e be hore a ba kgoreletse ke selo, but mo re leng mo teng ka hore e berekisa ke ya batho ya setšhaba se sotlhe e seng ya bana bao ba re ba rutang that art and culture ha a ba kgone go tswelela pele ka dilo tsa bona. And then even le ha ile gore hene ba no re propositse gore go ne le ko hong ko ba irang makase, and then tshwantse ba re fe dilo tse ileng gore to di user gore bana ba kgone go ithuta go ira go bopa di mobiles tse bjana ka makase di tafola di raka, but ka gore ka moo ke community center e berekisang le ke dikereke ke eng ke dilo tse ntši tse di leng moo tse di irehang ka moo ga re ne mo ba re ka lokelang property tseo tsa bona gore ba di berekise di le moo ebe ka bošori di tšhelele somewhere kgone di. So ra khopela mabala ke a mantsi mo Ward 30 a e leng gore re ka berekisa, and then hape le ka sports re kgorile fela lebala le leng gore ne he re le checka re kry-ile le gore no assistane sa ka mo e leng gore re khopetse mo councilora a re dumeletseng gore ne tsenang ka mo he le iphitlheng mo teng ke lebala fela le leng gore anytime re ka na ra roga ke mongwe wa lona ha tlile, and ba re khorometsa le hana ka moo he bana ba sa le busy he go tla mokgatlho o rileng ka gore mekgatlho e farologaneng ya as community ha e tla ba kgona gore ntshana ko nngwe le nngwe or re apetse bana dijo gore ba tja or re ntshitse di-instrument gore bana ba ile or ba sa nosetsa merogwana e ba irang in agricultural side ra ntshiwa, and then we have to respond. And se se leng teng pleke eo re ilwetse, and then re kry-ile e le gore ga ya dumelelwa gore e ka ba le motlakase, ga ya fiwa motlakase ya hilwe fela ga ene budget. So re khopetse from the sponsor o tlile a o nyakana le dipampiri tse e leng gore di re dumeletse gore ebe ba fostele gore ne sponsor a kgone go tsentsha motlakase mo holong e. So re patloketse motlakase o e leng gore rena ka borena a re bereke.
Ke nahana re utlwile ditletlebo tsa hao a ke re abuti wa ka
Okay.
re di ngotse mo fatshe ke a
Okay.
leboha haholo o latelang
Ke a leboha.
and then ke tlo ya ka mane ha ke qeta ke re ke ya ka kwa.
Thank you very much. Ke tlo berekisha language ya ka ke. Sa mathomo ke leboga department ka mmereko ba o dirileng, and then le parliament ka mmereko ba o dirileng starting from the 16 until the 20. So I'm going straight to the point. My challenge hore we need a transport. I'm sorry, I can introduce. I'm Philippine Mabochane under National Association School Governing Body. So we have a challenge ko Harankua ko 32 ko Bethesda for transport ya bana ba pitlagana. And then the other challenge ya bana ba loreng they reach 21 years ba ba leng special schools, and then after 21 years a parent wa bitsiwa a botšiwa gore ngwana o feditše mo sekolong, so o tshwanetse a bone plana gore ngwana o ya ko kae, and then most of the parent, I'm sorry to say that, o kry-e le gore a bana that information or a ka ira bjang ka ngwano, so o kry-e le gore ngwana o ba tletse mo distrateng, and then ana future is the ke request ke kgopela mo governmenteng gore bana ba ba so ba ka ba assista bjang he ba fetša ko di special schools. And then the other point ke ya technical college e sa le ra e kgopela ko 32 ko Rankua gore e tlela kae. So and then the last point, this one is encouragement to a parent. Parent must be support mo dikolong tsa bana ba bona, they must take part. He ba re SGB ko sekolong parent must take part. E ska ba gore re blame department, the government there a e bereke, so parent must take part mo dikolong tsa bana ba bona.
Ke a leboha haholo ausi wa ka, ke ya ka mane ke tlo kgutla hape for the second round ne. Yeah. So ke tlo nka ka mona by 5.
Ke a le dumedisa ka moka ka ntlong bagolo ba ka. Ona eme mona ke Wilson Lesiba ke kana. Ke dula di KK Ward 26. Ko di KK Ward 26 ke na le mathata a magolo bjale ka ward committee ya Gauteng. Re na le noka e tshelang e kgaolang di KK le di FF le di BB. Mo nokeng ye go na le bana ba more than 600 mo plekeng ye one ba tshela noka ga ba tloga nokeng ba tshela mela o tsamayang di-taxi and ko pele le gona go feta more than 2,000 ya bana ba ba yang ka di-FF ba ya dikolong. Why go e ba ka mokgwa sekolo sa pleke ya rena ha ena sekolo ebile ha ena hall. So mo selemong se se fetileng ile ka reporta tabe gore re kgopela maporogo mo bana ba ba tshelang teng because ke pleke e sleg. Mara even today a ke so kry thuso. Se ke se lebeletseng ke gore o ka re re emetse gore ngwana o mongwe a tšee ke noka and then re tle re šupe councele ka monwana mara a se molato wa councele. Ke nkile dinepe ke tsena mona. Ke a leboga.
Ke a leboha haholo, ke kopa hore information eo o ise ka morao mane, ho na le ditafole ka morao ne o buang ka yona. A latelang wa bobedi.
Ke le dumedisa bo botle boeme mo ke sello ke nna ko ward 88 na le probleme ko ward 88 na le probleme ya council ha re kopela thuso a re fi thuso ya bobedi mushumo wa mmereko ra o bona watho but a hiri batho bo botle ha re mmutsisa a re joina ANC pele before o fa mmereko.
Ke kopa hore hape ke kgutlela morao ho ntho e ke itshulong pele. Ne ke kopa hore re botse dipotso tse amanang le tsa thuto le sport, recreation, arts and culture. Ha hona le tse ding ditletlebo, ho na le ditafole ka morao, o ise submission tsa hao ka morao. Ke a kopa tswetswe hobane re batla hore batho ba kgone ho bua le bona batho ba bangata jwang ba batlang ho bua ka dintho tsa education, sport, recreation, arts and culture. O latelang.
Dumelang parlamente. Nna leina la ka ke nna France Pasha. Maabane be re le mona ra ripiwa gabedi le gone re ripile mesong gape. Jwale be ke kopa gore le ntlogeleng ke boletse neng ke sena le tsona maabane. Re na le re batho ba e le gore Stingvatere ga ena office. And Stingvatere go swele go segana ga go laolege. Ga re na le holo, ga gona police station, and motsola ko mogolo. Jwale mare gape le a tlo tsena Minister Stingwana o ile a ntšhupetša mme mo mare ke Patricia Tshweu gore ke berekišena le ena ka sepalamente mola ga Maskral. Since ba mpontšha ena a se ke mmone ga e le gore o mo ga a tswelele ntena a tla mpotse gore molato ke eng a sa gone kopana le nna. Ne ke kgopela gore ma-volunteer go be le sekala go se kane go volunteer right through. Re kgopela gore nna ke volunteer for 10 years le mpona ke mokae re batla gore ma-volunteer a patelwe le na le mmuso patela ma-volunteer le tla bona mmereko o tla ba gona. And se sengwe ke ne ke kgopela gore makhanselara gore ba-official a government ba e sa le go ba baswa ga ba theoga ditulong go tsena makekolo bagalayo makhanselara motho mo sene se ka change. Gona yanong ke lefile lengwalo furugo mola le lengwadile ba mpromise gore ba tlo mpha copy ya lona le ganyo le copy ya so ka ke so e fumane. Ke a kgopela gore ga ke sepela e be le gore copy e le mphile yona ke nyaka gore ga di sa sepela gabotse ke kgone le latelela mo le go ntse. Thobela ke a leboga.
Ke a leboha ntate. A latelang wa boraro.
Dumelang ka moka nna ke nna Regina Ramasepala ke twa ke le ko polateng ya Kamele Drifi ke kgopela re mmušo o re thuše re nna mo mekhukhung ya tlhatlhagana o a swa mekhukhu e o motea o sa mekhukhu e mentši so nna ne ke kgopela thušo ke tla ke le Kamele Drifi nomoro a ke e bolele ke Regina Ramasepala from Limpopo. Ke a leboga.
Next.
Dumelang. Nna ke nna Neliba Loi. Ke tswa ko O24 ke emetse Ndaba area. Ba Ndaba area ba lla ka dikhwa tse di leng ko saeteng ya rona. Se nako nngwe re kry-ang go swetse batho ka mo morao re sa itse gore ba latlhile ke mang. Le dikoloi tse di timelang o kry-a di tletse ka mo morago di shota mala e le gore go setse di body fela ka montle. Ba lla hape ka ditsela le ma-bridge ka re go na le bana ba yang ko sekolong se seng ba re ke rimolotswe. Mo ba fetang mo teng go na le letamo le leng le legolo and ha ba kgone go jumpa ba llela gore go bana le bridge gore bana bale ba kgone go jumpela ka ntlele ka lebo.
O latelang ke sa re ke wa o qetela ke re ke number 5 ka mo and then ke tlo ya ka kwa ausi wa ka.
Dumelang kaofela. Ke nna Miriam Mokgokane ke tswa ko 229 Block X Mabopane ko Ward 21. Ke na le bothata ke tlo llela bothata ba ka mo government gore inthuse. Ke na le ngwana wa ngwanyana o pasitse grade 12 ya gagwe ka 2011. O na le 2 years a le mo hae. O applyela di bursary mara ba mo rejecta ba re na apply se bursary ko NAFSAS. Ha ba mo reply ba re ga bana di funds. Ne ke kopa go bala di results tsa hae.
O santse no tswela pele.
English home language o kry-ile level 5. Afrikaans first additional language o kry-ile level 5. Maths literacy o kry-ile level 6. Life orientation o kry-ile level 5.
Ke a utlwisisa ngwaneso ne hore ngwana o pasitse ne kopa hore
e re ke bue nne. Ke kopa gore a ngwana ha ana le mekgwa e so government ke kopa gore inthuse nka bua le testimonial a ifumaneng ko sekolong. She has proved to be a person of good character, completely reliable and very honest. She is well-mannered, diligent and cooperative. She has responsibility attitude, taking responsibility for her own action. She has a pleasant personality. She's impeccable in her dress and is popular with her peers and with the staff. Netball. It is without hesitation that we recommended her for any position which she qualifies. She will be an asset to any organization. And call the entire is a grade 12. This candidate, she is awarded a national certificate and has met a minimum requirement for admission to bachelor's degree, diploma or a higher certificate, study as a gazetted for admission to a higher education subject, to the admission requirement of the higher education institution. So ne ke kopa gore government inthuse ka ngwana ona gobane ke ngwana o bonolo gobane bana ba age ya because o na le 21 years. Bana ba age ya ha Friday ha ba robale gae ba no byalwa ba tsuba dinyaope. So ngwana ona at the moment ha ke mmotsa ke re batla mosebetsi a re mma ke na le a passion, I want to further my studies. So ke kopa gore government inthusa ka re ke single parent and ha ke bereke ba mo thusa ka bursary. Ke a leboga.
Thank you re a leboga ngwaneso. Ba tla o attenda mo re ba kgone ho nka submission ya hao re a leboga haholo. Se ke ya ka site lane jwale la o qetela ba 5 be ke fa di minister le MEC ba kgone ho araba le councilor wa rona Makgate.
Ke a le dumedisa. Ke a le dumedisa tafola ya parlamente le setjhaba sohle se se leng teng hara ga parlamente ya rona. Ke le thabo le legolo gore na le kgono go le bona le le gona mo magareng ga lena gore tletse lethabo le legolo nna ke o mo one wa religious leaders ke rato le leboga gore le phethagaditše se modimo a se ratang ga o ilo bala pukung ya Proverbs mona go 11 verse 14 e re lefase la lena le keke la gola ga lena le ka se le emele ka maoto la le lukiša pušo ya lena le tla phutla e phutlame ka gore lena ge le sa emele ka maoto re a le leboga ga le emela ka maoto dilo tsotlhe tše le ditletše mo le seke la swaba ga ba bang ba ya kua ba sa lefe potso ye lena le e batlang le tsebeng gore ga re le ka ona mokgo ga re kgone go controlega re lebogile dilo tsotlhe tše di re diretseng tšona rena mmušo wa rena ga gona mo re o solang teng o a re hlokomela re le batsofadi ebile o re fa dilo tsotlhe re di tlhokang ga re roba le ka tlala mmušo wa rena o re fa ditšhelete tša batsofadi ka tshwanelo re amoga fela ke bana ba rena and then le tsona di-councilare tšeo ka moka ba bang ba di solang nna mo otong ya gešo ya 33 re na le councilare ye reng ga e bitša setšhaba ka moka ba bangata ga ba e ko holong ya rena go kwa seo mohlomongwe mokhanselara ya rena a batlong gore botša sona goba go mo fa dillo tša rena ba dula go ya ba bannyane fela ga nkeke ka bolelela dioto tše ding ke bolelela oto ya rena ya 33 oto ya 33 e bokoa mo batswading ba rona ga ba ye mo ba ba bitšang teng le go tlhagiša mathata a bona so le ka re thuša ka gore ba tsebe gore le ga ba ka re ba fološa makhanselare wa rena nkeke ba lebelele pele gobane mmušo wa rena o dirile taba ye nngwe wa re motho o mongwe le o mongwe o na le di-rights tša gage upša o seke wa lebelela gore ngwana o kry-a di-right tša gage a na le how many years ganthe kgale ga re kry-a di-IDs be re tšea re thoma ka 18 years go kry-a ID ke mo re no re thoma o kry-a di-right tša rena jwale lena le no re from ngwana a sa na le 5 years re ngwana ona o na le di-right tša gage o robala nageng o tsoga a robetša a kry-a sekolong ga a tsoga ya sekolong o robala till 11 o'clock ga o mmotša a re batswadi baka this is my right ga se yona tlhokomelang ba gagešo rena re le lebogile go rwala palamente la e tlisa ga gabo rena le seke la lapa re lebogile
ngiyabonga kakhulu baba olandelayo
khotso parlament entle ke sa le leboga ke be ke buse ke leboge gape la bobedi la boraro ga le tlile gare a setšhaba go tla ikutulla kutulo kgolo eo modimo a e ratang gore le edia ka mehla le matsatsi le kgotelele aowa ke a le leboga le lethabo la ka le buile le tla pesa ntlo e ka moka e gore ntlo e be le lethabo le lerato le tlhomphano ga e ka ba bannyane ka nnete ke ntse ke utlwa sepoledi se sengwe se lela ka ba bannyane gore ba tshwanetse go theolwa ditulong ba isiwe kae a watseo ke lebese go lokile ba ka nna ba theolwa ga lekola bagolo ba tla ba tseba ditemo tse ba re temo bona bana ga ba e tsebe ba bagolo ba tla ba thome go lepa ditemo tse mošomo o tswele pele palamente ke a o leboga go lebogela tse segolo ga kile ka thoma kwa ngwaga tse di fetileng ke thoma gana kwa ga Makgate hospitala rankua ke tsamaisa thapelo modimo a nthoma gore ke tsamaye ke rapela dipetele tse ka moka go fitlha toropong modimo a ka o mphile maatla le lerato a re ke tsamaye ke šiela dikonyana tsotlhe tse ke di fa nnete ke di fa tshepo gore ba felele ke patla a satana a keneng pelong tsa lena ke bona le ferekana nako le nako a le tshwanetse e bolele morero le thoma ntwa ga le tsebe le gore le diakeng bana ba ka tšatši le ke tlile o le botsa le go le laela gore tlogela lenyatso ba nang le lerato ba nang le tlhompho go bagolo ba lena tsotlhe di tlo loka amen
ke a leboga ntate wethu lapho number 3
nka re dumelang gore a ke sa itse gore ke thome kae nka re khotso batswadi baka re leboga palamente e tlileng ka tšeko mo go rona mo rena ba tlhoki ke nna Sofinkomo wa hot 33 chairperson a di-veterane tsa ANC re tshwarela meeting wa rona ko PCO ya rona zone le tso tsotlhe tsa Soshanguve di mo di mo hatlho ya ka maabane ba nkgaotse le ona banong ba nkgaotse ke na le mathata batswadi ba ka ke lebohile kutlwa ba parlamente e tla mo gore go hanga thoma ka bolela mo nka lla batswadi ba ka wa itse nka lla go ba le ntho ile ha mo 33 ke ntho e kgolo taba mathomo mo 33 gore se ra bolela maaka re eme mo re bolele ntho e re tshwenyang mama ka ke a utlwa o bolela ka taba ya go bolela ka dikolo ka di-culture ka dilo mama a ke itse sekgowa mare ke tlo bolela ntho e ntshwenyang ka keo batswadi ba ka ne ke kgopela lena kore ba batlang parlamenteng o ka re he le tsaya ntho nngwe le nngwe le nngwe le nngwe kore he ke bolela maaka mo ke na le di-councela tse di itseng bophelo ba rona mo 33 ka councele ya rona councela rena ya re tshwara pila taba bobedi ha ba ira di-meeting mo rena re itse selo ko mo wane wa bakekole ko mo wane ka mo Women's League mara ona ntho re itseng mo Soshanguve ene taba bobedi le re ka tloa le rena ba re mema kae le kae le kae motswadi wa ka re tsamaya ka dintwa ne ke kgopela o ka re wa itse le ka tlatšatši le le one mo ka ra ke re ngwadile marifa a makae re ngwadile marifi ra isa Lethule House ra ngwala le marifi ra isa ko Sosense ra ngwala marifi ntse re ngwala marifi mara rena re phetola
ke a kopa ma
phetola motswadi
ke a kopa ma ditletlebo tse o na leng tsona tse ding ke kopa o di ise ko morao kwanane and then ne ke kopa hore babui ba setseng ba babedi ka mona ba bue dintho tsa education sport recreation arts and culture ke a kopa ma re a utlwa ditletlebo tsa hao re kopa hore fela o ise submission ya hao ka morao
mara re
tafoleng
ke bolela e one fela mama e le 9 tshwenyana
A1 ke ya education sport recreation arts and culture ke re o bua ka eo
mama ha ke tsene
ke a kopa
ha ke tsene mama mo ke bolela ntho e tshwenyana
kopa o bue mama
nna o tla sello tsa ka ha ke
ke
bolele
kopa o
yona
bue
mama
mama ba nako ya tsamaya ke kopa o bue
ya gobane gona banong ke tlo botsa ntho e one sele ka bana le chairperson aka ya re chairperson aka a tlhokofetse ke ile kwena ke ile mmolela chairperson aka o tlhokofetse wa Women's League e ba re chairperson ya hao ha a tlo boloka ne bila nka bolokwa mama chairperson ya Women's League e ba mpolelela taba ya gore o suspendile motho o suspendiwa a le ka mole ka se nna ke nyako itse
a latelang o setse ba ithu
dumela maAfrika a matle mme o re tswalla kwa ntle na re batlile bo Dr. Motsoaledi ba health bjano go bolela gore o tle ka tseletse ba re senyaitse nako gore dule mo ka re ke ba re tsamaile le bona ga ba tsamaya marona re na le mathata ko O20 ko Mabopane bana ba rona le ditlogolwana di a kula ka baka sa noka ele ditlogolwana tsa rona di lomwa ke menang go mo pšhatlelela mo o tswa diboko bjanona re batla gore puso e re thuse e spraye no ka tsotsotlheletse ko O20 fela mo go dula moAfrika ba botlhe ba go sprayiwa motho kwa noka menang bana ba rena ba tlo tshwarwa ke malaria na ke kopa motswadi aka ka bokhutswane ene taba bobedi na ke batla go bolela le di-social worker anke ba ye kgothwele ya garankua bana ba rona ba report maintenance ba bangwe ba sentswe ke mapodisa ba batla go patela ditlogolwana tsa rona maintenance ke a kopa ma rona mmamorarisi nna ke mmoledi mo O20 ke batla ditletlebo tse di fitlha ko lona ba bagola tsa beef bo Terence Mashigo ke ba nka le re thusa mona Mashigo ke fatse ka bokhutswane bja ke a leboga mme go mpha sebaka seno
ke a leboga motswadi wa ka wa o qetela ka mona ausi wa ka re tlo gotlela hape ka mane e ska ne ke itse ke tla fa di-minister le MEC ba arabe and then re dumelane ka gore re tla gutla hape ka mona ba tla araba ka moraone and then ne ke kopa gore tswetswe ke kopa hore re ska ra bua ditaba tsa organization mona hobane mona re tlile as government as parliament ne ke kopa hore re ska ra bua ditaba tsa rona tsa di-branch tsa ANC tsa mokgatlo mona hobane mona re tlile ka dintho tsa government re a utlwana ke re o ka bua ausi wa ka
Dumelang bo botlhe, lebitso la ka ke nna Agnes Peng from Ward 9. Se ke se nyakang ke nyaka hore thank you very much to the government ka taba ya sports and culture. Rona batho ba sports ne re ile ko national re batla ho leboha thata. Gauteng province re tswile number 4. Mara mo sportsong re shota ka bontate fela. Bontate ba Pretoria Johannesburg ba tswafa. Bontate a re yang ro dlalang di sports re shianeng ro peleng re ireng dilo tsotlhe. Ka dinako tsotlhe re representa ke rona bokoko bontate ba ntse ko magae ba sa ire selo. So ke nyaka hore mo government ya rona re a le rata la re berekela ra itumela phambili.
Dumelang gape bagolo. Ke kopa re utlwisisaneng, ke kopa tidimalo gore ha motho a bua re kgone go utlwana. Ke tlile go kopa gore maybe ke fane ka guidance gore ya ka re buile gore gompieno re bua ka tsa thuto. Re tlile go kopa gore bagolo maybe ha le bua le ka bua ka di-challenge maybe tsa go tshwana le learner transport, school nutrition programs. If le na le probleme ka di-admission tsa bana ko dikolong, safety ya bana, like go na le bagolo ba ne ba bua ka gore mo bana ba kgabaganyang teng ga go safe. Re bue ka mo sportseng re lebelele dilo tsa go tshwana le di-facilities. Ke tlile go kopa ke a tlhaloganya gore rotlhe re na le di-issues mme tse e leng gore ga se tsa thuto, ga se tsa sports, ga se tsa arts and culture. Ke tlile go kopa gore re di kwale re di se ko morago ko ditafoleng. Ke kopa tirisano mmogo eo. Re tle go tshimola ka wena papa. Ke tlile go kopa gore le wena wa itse gore ke sa bobedi gore ke sa boraro bua. Ke kopa gore ha re bua o re tsele gore go na le batho ba bang ba batlileng fa le bone ba na le di-issues tse ba batlang go di raisa. Ke tlile go go fa gore o raise di-issues tsa gago but go straight o sa ba wa tlhalosa re fe mathata ha go na le mathata. Gape go tswa mo thutong re batla go bua ka di-challenges if go na le di-challenges around the issues tsa di-SGBs so that re le focus mo education. Higher education, the higher institution le tsone re tle go kopa although re sena minister from higher education but the issues tseo le tsone because re bua ka thuto tsotlhe re tla di nota le tsone di-issues tsa NSFAS ra itse gore dilo tse re tshwanetse re bue ka tsone mo higher education le tsone re tle go kopa ga di raisa go ka se nne le di-response now but dilo tseo re tle go di nota go tla nna le di-response later. A re tshimolle for rra.
Wa bolelang o ke Solomon Mabukela from Extension 9, Soshanguve South, under Ward 37. Okay, re na le di-challenges ko Ward 37, Soshanguve South. Re na le only one school, the whole ward. Ke thomile go dira mola 1999, and from 1999, ha hona sekolo around of Section 9, 8, and 10. So be ke gopela gore o be le sekolo from 99 go fitla gano jale ke 14 years effectively. Ngwana wa thomileng ka 99 se ana le 2 years a le on the tertiary. So ko re ngwana o from sub A till grade 12 o tsene sekolo botlhoko ka mo re bolela gore better education which ya ka ke gore nna e ka ba gore ge ngwana a tsamaya 3 kilometers go tloa matlong gona from point A to point B re ka e bitša gore ke a better education. Na re ka ba le a better education re be na le ngwana e le gore ga a fitlha sekolong o fitlha a lapile gore ngwana o tlo ba le a lack of concentration. Pušo e nngwe ke na le yona ke taba ya gore nna ka baka la gore o na le a budget e tswang every year
e ka ba ka mo sekolong ka mo ga e gona na gore go a ewe dikolo ke a leboga
Ra leboga ke tlile go kopa gore batho ba ba tswang mo holong re tswe ka tshitsibalo. Emella fela mo o dutseng teng, o didimetse o sa dire modumo. O latelang.
Ke a leboga. Ke nna Barbara Baloyi from Ward 9. Ke dumedisa palamente, ke dumedisa le batho botlhe ba leng ka mo hare ha tente. Re lebogile thata ka government wa rona o ka tsheko bana ba rona ba kgonang go ja ge ba ya tlha sekolong le ko sekolong peleng dilo tsene di stay ra leboga. Sa bobedi ke kopa gore ge bana ba rona ba na le bo 18 years a government a ba fe tšhono ya gore ba fetse matric ka 19 years ba ska o kena sekolo sa after school sa rona bomme re fokotsa bana re ba ira batswadi ne re kopa re government a e lebelisise gore a ska re ge ngwana na le 17 years go fedile ga feditse matric bana ba bang ke di slow learner re kgopela gore ba fe bana ba rona tšhono ke a leboga.
Amandla. Amandla. Okay.
Ere ke tlhalose. Re fa ka parliament. Ke kopa gore ha o bua o itlhalosa gore kwena mang o tswa ko kae ga gona Amandla ga gona Viva fa re parliament.
Okay. Ke nna Puleng Makhubela ke tla Winterfeld Hot 9. Nna ke tilo bolela mo dima batswadi ne ke kopa government ya try something we do something. Hona manong government every year inside the bicycle tsa bana ba nang long distance. And then hona manong mo paparena no ba di tseya ba ya ka tsona mmerekong. Bana ba sa tla ka tsona go dikolong. Ba butarena ba di tseya ba di sportsa ba dira di color blocking ke a khopela batswadi le government ya try o direla something. Thank you.
Ke a leboga.
Dumelang. Nna ke nna Itumelele Kalakala from Ward 9 Winterfeld. Ke nyaka go tackle only 2 issues tse di diragalang around Winterfeld. First of all, ke nyaka go starta ka ya ana program engwe ba re ke ESSP, Expanded School Support Program. Ke nyaka go itse gore ESSP originator e tlhaile ko kae? Cause of ntho re bonang mo ESSP hona le ba youth e leng employed e sa bereking employed mo that system. And then bana ba batho ba employed le mo ba tsena ka 12 then ba ilo chaisa ka 4. And then relevant safety most of them mo go di primary schools. So batho ba leng employed youth e employed mo e tsena ka 12 e chaisa ka 4 ya Montshare. So ntho ke nyako itseng go reng government e lebelle safety ya bana cause of he bana ba lo rutiwa di sports ba lo rutiwa di homework from 12 o'clock until ka 4 ya Montshare. Re lebelleng gore bana ba bana le transporto batsadi ba ba emetse and hona le ba bang batsadi ba ba lata hae. And the other issue engwe ke nyako tackling ke arts and culture. The government must look at the issue that we have people outside who are playing soccer, who are making visual arts, who are painting, who are making doing dancing, different kinds of art. So Shanguve, Mawopane, and Winterfeld. So we must also focus on these people because of always have something. Daily Sun or Kuranta City of Swan, but nothing else. Thank you.
Dimela. Naga na Michael Jale ko yesterday Mount 9.
O ka tswela o bua wa bofelo ka 4 kwena wa bo 5.
From Ward 95 yesterday. Naga tlo bolela ka ke na le bothata ba ko dikolong tsa go rona kwala. Dikolo tsa go rona kwala a di bontshe a di na batho ba ba di tlhokomelang ka di-garden services. And then banong ba bang ba rona mo hae mo a re bereke. And ba re na le di-certificates tsa bo di-grass cutting le tsona tse tsa o ka decorate-a dikolo so. Mara a re hiriwe. Then and bane ke na le bana ba ba i-4 ba ba tsenang dikolo. Different schools. Then hona mo teng ne kopela government hore e le gore ka ira hore e create di-job mo dikolong. And as ke ba hira ka se bruru ka ro kro lor bana ba motho ba khona ho bereka ba le one and then ka mmetse e meng o sna batho ba ba berekang mo teng mo.
Ke a leboga papa.
Ke a leboga.
Line e latelang. Ke tlile go kopa gore le ha le bua ka dikolo le fane ka mabitso a dikolo ha ile gore ona le sekolo se specific o fane ka lebitso leo. Ene le sa le bala gape ke gopodiwa ke ntate mo le gore re le rona ya ka batsadi ke karolo e feng e re e tsayang go supporta bana mo dithutong tsa rona.
Ashem, nakina ufugumelo Sibego from Mamelodi West. I'm studying film and television in a private college. So I would like to plead to the Minister of Arts and Culture according to the development skills through several programs like script writing, storytelling, poetry, drama, etc. We have like an art center where we inhabit in Mamelodi, next to the Mamelodi office. That art center is not having assistance in digital appliances such as a computer or a camera for our Department of the Film and Television. And then after, we like to see like the art center, it is the only one that is known in Mamelodi. Can the minister try to help us so we bring skills to the community, which we receive them from our college? So what we want to pursue is to build the root of storytelling, the root of poetry, the root of writing inside the people which are in our community. We have received a number of kids from a school which is named Umtunzini Primary School. They gave us 60 children, but we are unable to carry on with the program. Thanks, Minister.
Ke tlile go kopa gore ka gore ke project e specific e ya go morago kwa o go fana ka di details tsotlhe. O latela
Sambonana abakhulu nabancane. Igama lami nguThepo wakaMaseko. From Mamelodi East. Mina isikhalo sami sokuqala nginaso la. Isikhalo sami sokuqala nginaso bengicela ukuthi ugovernment athathe ama curriculum vitae we art and culture ne sports awafake e primary uthi kube ama subject because abantwana bethu abancane bathi to sing is a hobby, is not a hobby, is a career. Into bengicela from ku government ukuqala le. Into obisithu bengicela bengicela government ukuthi asakhele ama art center, ama skill development center because eTshwane asinayo i-art center enkulu. Ama-artists amaningi from eTshwane they have to go to Johannesburg ukuthi bayoba exposed emsebenzini le bayenzayo, which is not good for thina ama-artists waseTshwane. Into ngicela ubisithu e-library moya uthi access i-library. E-library bathi you have to use a computer for 30 minutes and I have to do my assignment, and that 30 minutes is too little for me. Inginikeza ama-challenge. And then the computer access ukuthi ngikhona ukutype ama-assignment wami inginikeza ama-challenge angikhoni. I have to write with the pen all the time. And into enye futhi into enye futhi bengicela ukuthi ugovernment atitsha abantwana bethu esikolweni ngehistory yaseTshwane. Because abantwana abaningi baseTshwane abazi history yaseTshwane. Babatitsha ngehistory yangaphandle. And ukuthi for me it doesn't make sense. Abantwana baseTshwane abaningi abazi history yawo. Abazi ukuthi uTshwane ubani, kenzakalani, sisho nguvize kanjani. Please, I'm asking for that information as well. And yokugcina ngiphethe nginayo. Mothi ya ku NYDA uthi you apply for funding or something else. Bakela ukuthi bafuna ukuthi ube nama payslip, ube nama assess ukuthi owner, ube nento ukuthi uyazi owner. Umuntu uyabheka into lezo ukuthi awunazo. Or bafuna somebody ukuthi kake ukuthi uyasebenza. and you can access for funding leyo. And last point,
ke a leboga. Bagolo, a ke re expectile gore ha re fetsa di-minister tsa rona, di-deputy minister ba kgone go responda because ba na le nako ba tleng go responda ka yone. Ke tlile go kopa ka tlhompho gore papa mo re go file tšhono ha go na le dilo tse dingwe tse se filang gore o seng go di dira di kwale o bo re disetsa ko morago kwale so that re kgone go fana ka chance ya gore le boeteledipele ba gona bo bo leng teng fa bo kgone go responda mo di-issueseng tse le di raisitseng ka tlhompho ke a go kopa.
thanks.
Thank you. O latela.
Dumela. Okay, bongane Makomboti from kwa Maskral, Mandela Village. Na game mo due to a challenge ya ernaling yona kwa Maskral ya sports facility. Sports facilities are na kwa Maskral. Startile ile rena ile di amateur football players. And then nearly see from that from the starting. So yana ho renza na go e ya ba ra kopela hone re tswe ba khono develop di facilities tse di leng teng. So up to so far, whenever no reveal a challenge ya ho rantsiwa ka mara di facility because of we have to pay a certain amount. So as really community ba feel ba kile ba re botsa hore no di facilities tse ba di ahang ba di ahela rena as really community but whenever no it's a task for rena even is a challenge hore re khone di berekisa back. Tshwantse re patele di tšhelete tse di lekanang roughly to 18,000 couples. Ho di tlhakantsha for season yohle. And a community team eloring are not anything eloring ya sponsor. We try to get our sponsor. Sometimes you have to be patient to get those sponsors. And then here we see receiving information enough for what's along diraniwa bya di facilities eniwa horne di facilities ke tsa di donation di ahiwa ka di donation but suddenly hona ba nong he thomar saladi lo morao re nya go itse re ho etsalang ba re ba tsentsha seat of Tshwane ka mohari ba re seat of Tshwane ke yona e dilang dilo that's why dilo di sa loka so ne kopelo botsisa mo minister hore ana di facilities he di ahiwa mathomong ba re ke tsa community ba bollang ka yona ke feng e loreng tshwantse morao e bo e patele tšhelete e ntšintši mo areeng e loreng dilo tse ba di ahile mo bannang mo teng. Thank you.
Wa bofelo mo lining eo re tle go re kgaola ka wena ka mo lining eo.
Dumela nna ka Ramsoni ke tswa ko plot 157 ko Lizonia ward 48 nna ke tlo bolela ka sports ko re nang ko teng re na le ground re itiretseng yona and then re na le bana ba banyane ba le reng re try gore ame goalkeeper trainer but a re kry dinthong le di sponsor ne kgopola government a tlo re bona a romele batho ba le re ba tlo bona di bana ka mokgwa ba tshamekang ka teng and then re try go bantsha mo di drugs gore at least the Champions League le di tournament for maybe re tla gopola le batho ba di Kaizer Chiefs ba le re batho ba tlo bona bana ba rena ka mokgwa ba trainang ka teng because or a khone gore a tse bana ba ba tsentse mo di academy ba khone tswa mo di drugs le mo mabyaneng ka re sa le ba banyana and then le rena mo le ba gaekolo le gona le bole le reng ba tshameka so le bona a tlise support gore le bona ba tlo khona o tshameka ba khona o tlolla gore ka mo go bona bonang rena re tshamekang ka teng le bona ba kgatlega ba khona o ikotlolla le bona at least go be le entertainment ke a leboga
ke a leboga ba go le nkutlile ke kopa gore ka boripane so that re khone go fa keteledipele rona nako ya go respond.
Dumelang, nanke na Naomi Matonsi from Ward 33. Rona ko Ward 33, garana field mo youth ya rona e tshamekela bolo mo teng. Re youth ya rona e tshamekela ka moholo. So councilor wa rona o timetse youth ya rona mabone, a re ba patele rent. Sa bobedi rona, dikolo tsa rona ha di na di facility, re khopela di facility. So skolo sa rona sa mathomo ke RS Maluleka, sa bobedi ke Buhlebezwe, sa boraro ke Lethabong, sa bone ke Ntokozweni. Ke a leboga.
Dumelang ba bohle wa bolelang ke Mabel Mahlanko, environmentalist florist. Na se ke se kgopela mo government kgale re voluntara mo art and culture mo agriculture re kry-a fela di-award ke leboga government ya rona ka gonne re bone dipoleke tse dintsi ke ne ke sa itse Durban ko teng re kgopela fela gore all the volunteers irrespective or different portfolios re kry-e funding ke a leboga.
Dumela, na lebitso la ka nna Tony, ke student sa finance at Unisa, I'm a second year student. So now I kopela government into Sarabata to finish my degree because at Unisa, TAPSEC Unisa is failing us. Sometimes not funds, sometimes there's no funds for us. So I kopela to Sarabata because I'm interested in working for the government.
Lochane, igama lami ngiNkosabo Sikhosana, ngihlala eSoshanguve eBlock GG. Mina ikinga mi yinye. La ePitori, ithi ngithi Gauteng yonke. Isikole esifundisa isiNdebele asikho. From foundation school, akunasikole esifundisa isiNdebele mina bengibawa ukuthi ongasenani indawo nendawo ibe nesikole esinye esifundisa isiNdebele. ISoshanguve ibe nesikole esinye, iMawupane ibe nesikole esinye, iMamelodi kanjalo kanjalo. And then sithina njengabahlali beTshwane siyakateleleka ukuthi sishiya abantwana bethu le kwadlawulale sibatshe nabogogo babo ngenxa yokuthi akunasikolo esifundisa isiNdebele. Ngiyathokoza.
Dumelang, o buang ke Victoria from Ward 76. Nna concern ka ya mathomo gore mo Ward 76 bathong ga ona ditlhabologo. Le ke khale ne di steng ya mathomo a rena library, we travel a long distance. Robala ko bo Themba bo Mandela, and this is not fair. Ke khale so o fitla go di tlaka tlabe di tswile. O sa itsuru ba di leng. Sa bobedi a rena di sport facilities gore a re tshameke pila cause ha ona mo re ka tshamekela mboteng. Ya boraro ne khopela government or at least e check le di indigent people gore ba tsweletse dithuto tsa bona. Ke a leboga.
Ngithokoza nonke elingapha.
Papa, ke tle go feleletsa ka wena o wa bofelo mo.
Ngithokoze ioffice ye-government ukuza lapha izolalela inlilo zethu. Mina ukuya ngokwami ngiyathokoza i-government eselikusenzele khona fika ngesikhathi sanoku. Into ebengizele lapha ubaba lo sanda ukusuka uyikhulumile bese ngilingile ukufuna indlela yokufaka isiNdebele enkolweni zeSoshanguve. Mina igama lami ngingu-Chief Mpongo William Mabhena ngaphansi kobukhosi bamaNdebele okamakhosi onke wamaNdebele wonke. Manje ngicela ugovernment ukuthi angisize ukuthi indlela yamasinyana engingayenza ukuthi isiNdebele mhlawumbe unyaka uzayo singasikebeya singenza njani ngoba le ndlela engilungisa ngayo le ingithatha isikhathi ngoba fanele ngikhambe enkolweni apha ngifunane nabantwana ukuthi bangaki lapho. Ngiyathokoza.
Re ya ko line ya la bofelo. Bagolo kopo ya ka sentse tshwana le ke ikopile mo di line tse dingwe. Ke a kopa.
Dumelang sa mathomo ke rata o dumedisa parlamente ge e tlile mo rona e re ba tumetse e tlo utlwa mathata a rena. Ke thabile thata nna ke nna Christina Manamela ke nna ko 1623 block A ke tlhakele ka mo O21 councilor ka ke Sendane. Ke rata o leboga gape councilor ya ka. Ke rata le wa gape councilor ya ka gore le male mo teng a nkutwa re ke a mo leboga bakeng la gore ke sale ke tswa 1965 ko Selbone ke sena bodulo mara ka tseno ke a epela ke re ke ne le ka mogaka aro ke nna ka mara mokhukhu mara ke ipotsa ke re ke ka mogaka la nkwa. And then ga bjano ke tlo kgopela parlamente gore ke ne le bana ba ke ba traina di-drum majorets. Bana ba ile ka bereka le bona from 2004 2005 go fitla ka 2000 e be le gore di-drums tsa ka di a senyega. Bana ba le ba godile ba bangwe ba tlile ba nyaka gore ke ba traina gape. Ke ne le bana ba di-drum majorets, ke ne le bana ba mmino wa setso ne. So a ke ne thusa ke gore bana ba a ke ne dilo tsa go ba thusa a ke ne tsona so ke kgopela parlamente gore e nthusa gore bana ba ke kgone go tswela pele le bona ba tswe mo strateng ba ke la re ke ba kgobakantsha ka mogae ke tšhaba bothata bo bo leng ko tseleng kwane ke wa gape ke kgopelela gape block A, block B le block B, block A le block B gore ga re na di-sport ground ke kgopela gore puso e re thuse ka tsona re ke le ka mo O21 ke a leboga.
Ke le dumedisa bagolo le banyane kaofela ke lebogela le parlamente ke lebogela puso ya rona ke thabile go lekane seatla gore ke bone puso ya rona e tlile mo rona e tlo re fa supporto e tlo re botsisa ditetlebo tsa rena gore ke thabile thata ka parlamente ya rona ke rata lerato ANC ebile nka se tloele le ha ke tlhokofetse ba nkape seflaga ya ANC ka mogo bagolo ba ka sello sa ka ke se ke na le bothata bo bogologolo bo e leng gore a ke itse gore nka bo solva bjang because a ke re mo letswele la mamaka ke setse ke nnoši mo di ba bana ba ba 5 so ke setse le ditšhiwana ditlogolo tsa usaka mo e leng gore o mongwe o feditse grade 12 last year a ba a nkgopela re koko ke kgopela thuso ke nyako ya sekolong kwa 92 ngwana ola ke kgatlha ko gore a e nyaopeng a tsamaye ko strateng ngwana o batla sekolo so last month ke nna mo bokonoutu mo head 21 and then bana ba ngwana o ko rankue ko zone 1 so last month ke ha e le gore ke kry-a founu le gona founu ya teng ya tsamaya ka mokgomong ngwana o itshegile mogolo ka thipa a leka go ipolaya ka utlwa botlhoko thata ka ya ko George Mokhari ka mo kry-a a kgone go bolela ngwala mo founung ka re Josepha why o ira so a ngwala mo founung a re koko ke tshwere ke stress ke kopela tshwarelo so ke kopa puso le ba education ka re nka mo kry-ela maybe bursary a kgone gore gore gone banong o tswile okay o kgone go bolela but ke na le letswalo la gore se se tla tlhagang bjanong se tlo nkutlwisa botlhoko go feta ka mokgosele ka butlwa ka teng ke a leboga.
Mama re tle go kopa gore o ye ko morago kwa o fane ka di-details tsotlhe tsa gago o latelang
ke a leboga dumelang ga ke leboge pele ba Department of Education ka dikgopelo tse e leng ra re ge re le SGB re di dira ba re sekegela tsebe ba re utlwa nna ke Peter Mokwena ke tlhaga ke le mo organization e ba e bitsang African School Governance Association as ka ka bokgausi re lebogela ge e le gore gona bjanong dikolo tsa rena di na le some pulsating fence di šireletsegile le babereki bo botlhe ba na le tšhireletso re leboga gape ka dikgopelo tse di le ra dira tsa di-feeding scheme gore di seke di a felela fela ko primary empa di tswele pele le ko di-high school ba utlweletse ba diragaditse bjago seo ke se kgopelang gona bjanong ke gore department e capacitate and always elected SGB ka gore gona bjanong SGB ene e tsene e a tsamaya mme fela ga ya workshopiwa e tsamaya e le gore tiro ya yona ya governance ga ya diragatswa e le gore re lebeletse gore re thibele se se ile kang sa iragatswa ko Polokwane ba re dibuka ga di a fitlha dibuka di latlhetswe ko dinokeng ge e le gore SGB e na le capacity dilo tsa go tshwana le tseo di ka thibelega gobane ge e le gore SGB ya tseba governance ya yona e tla tseba gore tšhelete ba allocatang e tshwanetse e berekise ka tsela mang ke bolele gape le ka discipline ge e le gore SGB e capacitated ba workshopile ditiragalo tse e leng gore re a di bona ba re ngwana o lule le teachere ngwana o rile diloma ga ke re di ka sebeteng mara di ka fokotsega ge SGB le batswadi ba na le tsebo ya gore sekolo ke sa bona mme ba tshwanetse go ka se tsamaisa ka tsela mang e le gore re tlhakantshe kutlwano magareng ga di-principala le batswadi le di-SGB e leng gore at some schools SGB ga ene kutlwano le di-principal mo e leng gore go kotse go ya ko pele gobane sa bofelo go na le probleme ya di-finances tse e leng gore SGB ga e tsebe gore tshwanetse e di rane bjang. And some of the educators ba tse advantage ka ona taba eo. Principal a o no tla mo chairperson a re signa check e ke ya eng ga e le gore motho o na le tsebo ya se a se dirang ke tshepa gore dilo di tlo tsamaya ka tshiamo e lokileng le ditšhelete ba ka seke ba re principal go ba sekolo sela se lositse focus ya tšhelete re tle mo sportsong ke kgopela gore sports le sona ba se lokele mo curriculumeng because bana ba rena ba bantši ba bang ba good in sports but at the end of the day ga ba tshwanetse ba rutwe sona ko sekolong ba re ga se mo curriculumeng pele ne go na le sports day for example ka di Wednesday mo e leng gore bana le ma-teachere ba thusana ka di-sports tsa go farologana mo e leng gore gona bjanong ga di teng ge ba tla go botsa gore contact time ke 7 hours ke a fetsa mo contact time ke 7 hours and then after all bana bale ga ba sane motlhokomedi mo e leng gore meskini ba ka ithuta ka sports le ka recreation go ya bjalo ke a leboga.
Ke a leboga papa.
Molweni, ndingupatron sopapaza, ndiphuma eWard 3 e-Elan Sport, kuma-RDP amatsha, ngene nge-22 zikaMeyi. Sinabantwana laphaya abangena isikolo e-Atteridgeville. Abantwana bethu basokola ngetransport. Sicela uncedo kwi-government asenzele mhlambi isibonelelo sebhasi. Kwakhona kule ndawo sihleli kuyo khona e-Elan Sport sinamachegwazana afuna ukugadwa ahlala odwa. Kunabantu sebekhona lapha abangenile ezindlini esingayazi ukuthi bangene kanjani ezindlini bayaqashisa. Siyoyika ke ngoku abantwana bethu bazobhema inyawupe bazawubhema intsango sithi baye esikolweni kanti abantwana bethu bahleli phansi kwebridge eya e-Elan Sport bathengiselwa ngabantu abaqashileyo. Ndinombuzo ku-government ukuthi umuntu okuzikhonayo na kuyakhonakala ukuthi afumane indlu yabasokoli i-RDP athi enendlu ye-loan aphinde anikwe indlu yaka-government na ukuthi ayiqashise yena ahlale kwindlu ye-loan na. Sicela ukuthi u-government ake eze asenzele i-research laphaya. Sihleli kabuhlungu sigade amaxhagwazana. Amaxhagwazana ayasokola laphaya awasebenzi. Upresident wethu weza wawapha ama-full parcel. Bathi masibhalise abantu ukuthi ngabantu abangaphi na. Si-110 kwindawo leya. Ama-food parcel awezi. Amaxhagwazana abelungu abhizi aza kwa-patron sopapaza nakwamakhumalo bafuna ama-food parcel abawaphiwe ngumpresident. Asiyazi ukuthi ama-food parcel akuphi na. Ndiyacela ugovernment ukuthi makenze isibonelelo kumaxhagwazana lawa asibeke nawo kwenziwe i-research. I-corruption iningi kwindawo abasibeke kuyo baqashisa basiphe izindlu ze-RDP and then babuye kwakhona banike abantu abanendawo zabo.
Mama, wa bofelo o latelang. No, mama o feditse ntate wa Kepes o wa bofelo. So that after that re fane ka chance. Ke kopa o
I'm James, I'm from Bethlehem. They put us in Ward 3. We are so thankful for the housing what ANC give us, but the problems we got with the houses, with the biggest problem is housing didn't do the search properly. They give houses to people in Lodium, drug lords, houses, and we can't learn our children in the road how to kick a ball properly. because they are driving through with guns. It's crossover fighting, and how must we live? We are happy with the houses, really, but if we can get a ward councillor who can take something just to help us to solve that problem, we will be really glad, because we phone the police, they say, take registration numbers. They are coming with false registration numbers there. What is it helping us? If I must do his job, I want his salary.
Thank you, thank you. You have made your point. At this time, I'm going to hand over to my co-chairperson. Is the time for our panelists to respond.
Okay. Ngiyabonga. Ngizoqala ngo-MMC wase City of Tshwane, Councillor Makgate, aze azophendula izinto ezireyizwe umphakathi.
Ke a leboha program directors, Deputy National Council of Memela, both deputy ministers, or the three deputy ministers that are present, MECs, members of the legislatures, members of parliament, MMCs, councillors, baduli ba ko Tshwane ke re dumelang. Re motlotlo le rona hore re be le lona ka sheko. As re utlwile maobane ha o bulwa parlamente ena hore ke parlamente e fang sebaka sa hore re tsebe hore le la ka eng, government e entse eng, ho santsane ho hlokeha eng. Nna he ke tla araba tsa sports. La pele, una le question, it's not even a question, but kin tatoko what 39. Ha hlalosa hore o batla funding ya eng. O itse fela ha le bereke empa hona le ntho tso di etsang. Ke kopa o ye ko morao ka kwana o hlalosa hore o batla funding ya eng. Ya hore o thuswe ka eng, because di funding ke tse ngata. So ha wa hlalosa hantle hore o batla funding ya mofuta mang. And then kitle kata the grounds. Ere ke fe fela the background hore the City of Tshwane yentse eng up to now. I will start with the project erileng ko yona mo Giant Stadium, because kutlwile o mong alla ka hore ha le tsebe di tšhelete di ya kae, masepala o di sa kae di tšhelete. Ke nako hore le tsebe di tšhelete masepala o di sa kae, hore ratoropo wa Tshwane le executive le di councillor ba isa kae tšhelete mo ko tsa sports. Sa pele Giant Stadium erileng ko yona mo ao ke mo ao wa Giant Stadium o re dutseng ko ona ke parking area. Stadium se I think batho ba Soshanguve se tseba gale se se qalo se ahiwa from the previous administration, but now ke se a fela stadium se. Stadium se na se jile tšhelete e kana ka 289 million. Ka December stadium se ka di 10th of December the contractor has promised that o tla se hand over to the municipality. That was the initial promise ya high. But la tseba hula ba le di industrial strikes. Senkile about 2 months sa affecta the production ya stadium, the construction ya stadium. Stadium saema hasange sa sebetsa. Hona jele ba bona ba sebetsa. Ba sebetsa 24/7 to make sure that ba se deliver stadium, because ra se batla really community se re sebedise stadium se ke tšhelete tsa ko Tshwane tse tswang ko treasury part of the budget ke sona stadium seo. Ke tle ka Hammanskraal. Hammanskraal, it's a very big area, and batho ba ko Hammanskraal bonete Akere the libraries, dia ahiwa. Ributsi library yako Surman. I mean, community hall yako Surman. At the moment, library ifedile, rikobula library ko Surman. Batu badulang ko Surman, laibona ifedile that library. It official opening ayona, it's in November. You'll be invited to go and open that library. And then again, more Hamaskral, Rally Multi-Purpose Sport Recreation Center. I think in Tate Otluhang Mona Obuang Kauri, Lipatadi Sobo 18,000. Athlete effects because Akir Hupul as a department, Rere Batava Pataledi 18,000. Really, it's news to me. Kikili a political head ya sports. Akisivir urkera Patadi Sabatu 18,000. Kikopan Uko Yako Tafule money, Uko refer din Katsel because if Batwato Patadi so the 18,000 ili community, Bakupa Sebedi Sadi facility. Really, something where's a hetsi ing, where's a la ing. Recupa those facts, investigate. More Hamaskrali mo multi-purpose center, Haki Buwaje, Hunali construction ya clubhouse, Yadi change rooms, lead up ablutions, Honamoleko Mandela village. Improve that place. Akira right say bahar kena moleko Hamaskral. So re-eda diloteo ko Hamaskral. And again, kahara library. Hunali toy library. Good all our libraries in the city, dinali toy libraries. Ritlaka Olive and Oat Bosch Purpose Sports Center. That center rents a phase 1 if a deal. Reto startaka phase 2. Cause that center globally cheribita kidi multi-code hard courts. Good globally tennis, hutoba polali netball. Again lead ablution facilities. There is security guard house. Ita ahiwa mo. Ke part of the budget. Yadi cheletete elir halidi tsebi. Kiri cheletete twang tseo. Tse ahang dinto tseo. Leho polo kiri chelete. Adi ahiwi fella. Dita fella from heaven. It's budget. Kiko region 4. Riteka Solomon Mashlangu Freedom Square Cultural Center. At the moment, that center, that internal, who busy now, who redesign and the development of Heritage Square, who ila demolish because now we had to do it properly. Part of our heritage, to make sure that Solomon Mashlangu, iya tsoha, iya right, seba ribone buaka heritage, ribuaka but ba shweletsing tukuluhu, but only Solomon Mashlangu, who reba value as the government. So that square, ita fela, ribone kaufe, and it's there. Bafetang badulanko mamilodi, I think you are witnesses that it's a halan too. And all these projects, they are creating jobs to our communities. But Baberek, Harinki, hak contractor, every contractor, in the city of Tshwane, we make sure that that contractor or subcontractor, locals, you can't do business, Oscar subcontractor, the locals. We make sure that locals benefit, not anyone else. So that is job creation. That is done by the department, that is done by the government of the ruling party. The Lotus Garden multi-purpose facility, Eco Lotus Garden, go region 3. I think that one again, it's another community center development. And phase 2 thing now, start Leon. And then that phase 2, Leona, it created the jobs. It's part of our facilities as the department. Renali one another project, Eribitsankorki Kalinen Library Park. That one is Eco Kalinen. The library park phase 1 has been done. The phase 2, but because of the budget, we budget undercoat you. But now it's going to start because now it's going to be prioritized, budget adjustment in January that they should proceed with that library park. The greening of sports facilities, green fields, the grounds. Honali, this 2 parks per ward, it's one Department of Environment. All the wards in the city of Tshwane, who are here 2 parks. And Rona as a department of sports, we are greening the grounds. Kore re kenya artificial turf. What we have done, we started like the pilot project. We said, let us do 3 areas. Ranka Harankuwa, region 1. Ranka Mbolekwa Stadium, region 3. Rari Mamelodi Retabile Sports Center, region 6. Artificial turf, if you like, artificial. The reason why we have opted for artificial turf is because Yona is expensive, but the maintenance Yona is very low. Hence, now we started to cut 3 areas. In November, Retabere Mbolekwa Stadium, they will be officially be opened in November. And again, we have budgeted 19 million to do the other 3. So we're trying to make sure that all these areas, the grounds, we make sure that Battle Fumana the grounds. Some areas like body plots, we cannot do the grounds body plotong because those plots, they don't belong to the city. Some are private properties. Yes, the grounding, the ground is a but we cannot taxpayers, raw investor, co-property, private. Yes, the city's property. We will make sure that we develop those grounds. We have noted them. All the areas that's not the grounds, they will get proper ground facilities. All of them. We said, got this current financial year, we are looking at those. And the little on. I think Renalyn Terry Bitang or ke Mabopane Golf Range. Mabopane Golf Range was launched, I think it launched like 2006. Where was it? 2009, yes. That was the initial opening launch here. And then what happened? Come Mabopane Golf Range. There was no plan or maintenance. Yes, we admit as a department that there was no plan of maintenance. But now, maintenance, budgeting, we have asked the national government, national sports national sports department, 2 million from lottery to assist us. Who can your fence? Because it's in your head. Fence by inkile. Because who's not any activity. And then again, as a department, we have partnered with Gauteng North Golf Union to assist us so that we can train youngsters. Because we want to, the aim of that golf range is to develop youngsters because we want to produce international and national golfers. That's more from schools. Because golf now, we say golf is a sports elite. But as a city, we're bringing it down to the people. Let's start Banabaruna at an early age, Babapale golf. So now we're taking care of that Mabopane golf range. So it's going to be, it's one of our priorities to make sure that after it has been launched, anything, something is going to happen. And I think by early next year, we'll be starting Kayona to make sure that coming to other, areas like the projects as a city. Okay. What I want also to highlight was as a city of Tshwane, apart of all these projects, the department, just to give evidence that the efforts that has been done by the department to make sure that all the facilities and even the department itself, this talk show or lip service, the department was the first department in the city and in the country. Received the South African Bureau of Standards prestigious ISO qualification. That qualification, it means we are implementing quality management systems in the sports department. And it was the first one and followed by another department, emergency, safety in the city. So that alone, it shows, we are taking our communities serious. And we are taking, we don't want to, we're not playing with you, with communities. When we said we are committed to make sure that we take sports, forward in the city of Tshwane. So I think another thing that this living women monument, it's a provincial, yes, it's a provincial a project. It's an initiative, the premier, Gauteng, but iko Tshwane. Yes, we are more next to the state theatre. It's one of those projects that we, Eric Kansankayona as a city that it's ever nationally, that one, because it's a monument that will be acknowledging all women that have fought for the struggle Sarona South Africa. Thank you, Chairperson.
Siyabonga kakhulu MMC for indaba ezimnandi ze service delivery. Olandelayo MEC Chrissy we education. Sizocela ukuthi uzoresponda. MEC, over to you to respond to the public. There will be an interpreter interpreting in Setswana.
Thank you very much, Chair, and good afternoon to everybody. Thank you for the questions.
Ke leboga thata Morulasetulo, mme ke leboga thata le ka dipotso tse le di boditseng.
I'd like to start off by addressing the issue of scholar transport for learners who are living more than 5 kilometers away from the school that they attend.
Ke rata go simolla ka dipalangwa tsa baithuti ba tsamayang sekgala sa dikilometera di le 5 go ya ko sekolong.
The policy of the department is if we are unable to provide you with a school for your child which is less than 5 kilometers from your home, we have a duty to provide you with free scholar transport.
Re le mmuso re na le molawana o re rao reng fa ile gore ngwana wa gago o tsena sekolo sekgala sa dikilometera di le di feta 5, re a tshwanela re le mmuso gore re le tlamele ka dipalangwa tsa go rwala bana go ba isa ko dikolong.
If on the other hand, as a parent, you decide not to take your child to your local school but to go somewhere else, then that is what we call parental choice, and we would expect you to pay for the transport in that situation.
Fa ile gore wena jaaka motsadi o itlhophela go tsa ngwana wa gago o mo isa ko sekolong se ileng gore se kgakala, seo re se bitsa gore ke itlhophelo ya gago jaaka motsadi, ka jalo o tshwanetse gore wena o duele dituelo tsa dipalangwa tsa baithuti go ya sekolong.
With regard to learners who are living in Ilanspoort and are having to travel to Attridgeville, that is a new situation, and we will investigate it because we think that you are right. It probably qualifies for scholar transport, and we will look at providing it from January next year.
Fa re bua ka bana ba ileng gore ba ko Elandsport mme ba tshwanetse gore ba ye sekolong ko Soshanguve, kgang eo ke e ntšha mme jaaka mmuso re tlile go isala morago re dira dipatlisiso mme re tla simolola go dira ka kgang eo ngwaga o tlang ga o simolola ka January.
We will also investigate the situation in Extension 13, which I'm assuming is Extension 13 in Soshanguve. Why is it that parents are paying for transport there? If those parents qualify, we will also look at putting in a scholar transport for Extension 13.
Re tlile go lebella gape le kgang e ya go Extension 13 ya go Soshanguve mme re a itse gore ga go a tshwanela gore batsadi ba ka bo ba duelela di-transport tsa baithuti mme fa e leng gore go a tshwanela re tlile go tsaya maikarabelo a go duela dipalangwa tsa bana go ya ko sekolong.
I want to address the issue of the ESSP, the extra school support program that was raised by one gentleman.
Ke tla bua jaanong ka extra school support program e tlisitsweng ke rre mongwe fa.
This program is intended to provide aftercare support for 2 hours in primary schools each day. 1 hour is supposed to be spent helping children do their homework. The second hour is supposed to be spent having what we call organized play. So it's physical activity for the children after school.
Program e ke ya o thusa baithuti go dira ka di homework the first hour mme ura ya bobedi ke ya gore ba kgone go dira metshameko le go ikatisa.
The idea is that children should be kept off the streets and away from drugs and other social evils in the afternoon.
Maitlhomo le maikaelelo a programe ke gore bana ba seke ba tsena mo dikgang tsa go dirisa botlhaswa diritibatsi le nnotagi morago ga diura tsa go rutiwa ko sekolong.
The other purpose of that program is to provide some short-term employment and also formal training for young people. So they come into the program for a maximum of 2 years, during which time we also give them access to accredited training.
Maitlhomo magolo a mangwe a programe ke gore batho ba kgone go thapiwa le gore ba kgone go fiwa training kgotsa thupelelo ya nakwana gore morago ba tle ba kgone go nna batho setšhabeng ba tle kgone go dira tiro sentle.
And it's one of the ways in which at a local level we are able to help with this problem that concerns all of us, namely youth unemployment.
Se ke nngwe ya ditsela tse dintsi tse e leng gore ra di dirisa go rarabolla bothata jo re nang le bone jo bo tshwanang le go tlhoka tiro ga batho ba bašwa.
Of the current intake of young people that are in the extra school support program, 3,500 have currently managed to get into either FET colleges or universities at government expense.
Palo gotlhe ya baithuti ba kana ka 3,500 ba le mo programeng e setse e kgonne go tsena le dithuto tse e leng gore ke tsa FET college.
The contracts of the current workers will be ending in March, and I think this is a good opportunity that the lady who spoke about her daughter, she needs to explore that opportunity.
E ke tšhono e ntle ya gore yo o neng a botsa potso e a neng a re ga a dire tiro a ka kgona go tsenna programe mme programe e ba ba leng mo kontrakeng ba dira jaanong e tla fela ka the end of March next year.
We will look into the problem at the particular school the gentleman raised where these workers are not being properly utilized.
Re tlile go samagana le go dira dipatlisiso tsa gore mo sekolong se a buileng ka sona ke goreng go te badiri ga ba tshwarwa sentle.
With regard to the issue of school facilities and infrastructure,
Ga re bua ka mafaratlhatlha a dikolo a go tshwanang le di diriswa tsa metshameko.
I think that we must agree that there is a problem in this area generally, particularly with the schools which the Gauteng Provincial Government inherited from the former Northwest Provincial Government.
Re tla dumelana jaanong gore go na le mathata a dikolo tse dintsi tse e leng gore di ne di wela mo mmusong wa maloba o e leng gore ke wa Northwest. Jaanong go santse go na le mathata a tshalo morago ya tlhabololo ya mafaratlhatlha infrastructure.
Because many of those schools do not have administration blocks, they do not have sports facilities, they don't have libraries and laboratories.
Ka gore dikolo tseo ke buang ka tsona tseo ga di na di-office, ga di na mafelo a go tshameka kgotsa di-sporting grounds, jalo le jalo.
It's not a problem that we can solve in the short term, it's something that we are working on gradually. And the reason is that most of our budget for infrastructure and facilities is used because there is a constant in-migration into Gauteng, and we are constantly needing to provide more schools and more classrooms for learners and their families that are migrating into the province.
A ga se mathata a e leng gore re ka rarabolla ka ponyo ya leitlho ka gore la itse le lona gore go na le bontsintsi jwa batho ba e leng gore ba tla mo provinceng e ya Gauteng mme madi a leng teng a budget re a dirisa gore re kgone go aga more classrooms.
We are aware that there is a problem in New Easterus and also in Kanana, where the sites that we had identified for schooling have actually been occupied by informal housing.
Ra itse gore go na le mathata ko Kanana le Easterus mo e leng gore ditsha tseo re neng re di tlhophile di setse di tsere ke batho ba e leng gore ba iphile tsona e seng mo molaong.
And what that means is that we are not able to build schools on those sites because people are living on them.
Mme seo se raya gore ga re kgone go aga dikolo mo mafelong a go jaaka mmuso ka gore go setse go na le batho ba e leng gore ba tsere mafelo a go kgotsa ditsha tseo.
We are in discussion with the city of Tshwane on this matter because if we want to build, the city of Tshwane needs to give those people alternative places to live. So that is a discussion that we are busy with the city of Tshwane presently.
Re santse re tsweletse re buisana le toropo ya Tshwane gore toropo ya Tshwane e kgone go thusa batho ba ka go ba fa lefelo ka gore re tshwanetse gore re dirise lefelo leo go aga dikolo.
The good news is that in January we will be opening 2 new schools in Soshanguve South, one in Soshanguve and one in Roslyn.
Kgang e monate mo ntlheng e ke gore mo ngwaga o tlang re tla be re bula dikolo tse pedi ko Soshanguve South mme se sengwe re tla se bula ko Roslyn.
With regard to the issue of skill centers, there is an existing skill center in Odi, and there are also 2 FET colleges in Soshanguve that service the entire northern and southern areas of the north of Tshwane.
Kgang e monate ke gore go na le kgang e ya di-skills mme go na le di-FET college di le pedi e nngwe e ko Soshanguve mme e nngwe e ko Odi go rarabolla bothata jo jwa tlhaelo ya dikgono kgotsa skills.
With regard to the gentleman who raised the problem of his child being very stressed and attempting to commit suicide, we will look into that situation and provide counseling. But we'd like to say to all other parents who are here that the Gauteng Provincial Government has paid for 2 new lines on Childline, and it means that if you are experiencing problems with your child having emotional problems, you can use that toll-free number. We have created more capacity because we know many children and many of our learners are stressed.
Ga re bua ka rre yo o neng a tlhalosa gore go na le ngwana o neng a leka go ipolaya kgotsa go commit suicide, re rata go mo tlhotlheletsa gore a dirise mogala o sa dueleleng mo e leng gore puso ya Gauteng o tlhomile maiteko a gore go thusiwe bana ka counseling ga go na le mathata a ntseng jalo.
With regard to training of school governing bodies, we have a very big program that has been running for the past 2 years. I will find out, sir, why your particular school is not part of that program, but it does include all of the important issues that you raised: financial training for SGBs, disciplinary training for SGBs, and other training about their role and function.
Re na le programme e leng gore e ruta kgotsa e ruta e traina di-SGBs gore ba kgone go dira dikgang tse e leng gore o di tlhagisitse mme ga ke kgone go tlhaloganya gore ke goreng sekolo sa gago sone se tlhopolotswe se sa fitlhela that training fela re tlile go sala kgang e morago go tla go thusa.
On the issue of introducing Isindebele language into schools, first of all, what I would want to say to everybody here is that school language policy is a function of a governing body. So parents are entitled at an annual general meeting to raise the fact that they would like another language of instruction, and the school governing body can discuss that matter and take a decision on it.
Mo kgang ya go rutiwa puo ya Isindebele ko dikolong itseng jaana gore kgang e mo matsogong a batsadi le SGB ba tshwanetse gore ba e buisanele mo kopanong ya bona ya ngwaga le ngwaga e e bidiwang gore ke AGM, mme ga ba dirile jalo go raya gore sekolo se tla buisana le lefapha mme re tla le thusa ka tsela e go tshwanetseng.
What we will do as a department to help, because our team of senior officials are sitting over there, is that we will conduct an audit of the schools in the area and see where we need to create more capacity for this language to be taught.
Rona jaaka mmuso re tlile go le thusa jaaka le itse gore re na le batlhankedi bagolwane ba lefapha la thuto. Se re tlileng go se dira ke gore re tlile go dira audit mo dikolong tse di mabapi mme ra le thusa ka ntlha eo.
Chairperson, with your permission, I just want to say a couple of words on the issue of sports, arts and culture, because I'm also acting for MEC Lebogang Maile.
Moradisi ntitle jaanong gore ke bue ka bokhutshwane ka kgang e tsamaisanang le sports, arts and culture ka gore ke emetse motlotlegi Mokhuduthamaga Maile.
First of all, I think it's very important to say to community members that in this area we have a whole number of multi-purpose facilities. In Ga-Rankuwa Region 1, Hammanskraal Region 2, Winterveld Region 1, Soshanguve Region 1, Mabopani Region 1, Camille Drift, Rudaplat Region 5, and Cullinan Refillway Region 5.
Go botlhokwa jaanong go itse jaanong gore mo go lona mo ireng e mo tulong e go na le di multi-purpose center tse dintsi jaaka a di badile bo Soshanguve, Hammanskraal jalo le jalo.
All of those centers offer sports, arts and culture activities every afternoon free of charge to young people in communities. And we really advise you and encourage you to invite young people to go there and participate in those activities.
Di multi-purpose center tse a buileng ka tsona tse di fa katiso kgotsa di thusa bana mo nakong ya di afternoon kgotsa tshokologo. Mme lona jaaka batsadi le a rotloetswa gore le romeleng bana ba lona go tsaya karolo go dirisa dikago tse.
For those non-governmental organizations who are involved in sports and require funding, the Gauteng Sports Council advertises for proposals for funding in all of the newspapers in February and March every year. And we really urge all community-based sports organizations, that is the place to apply for funding, because that body gives community organizations small grants in aid to run sporting activities at a local level.
Jaanong he itseng gore lefapha la metshameko le boitapoloso mo Gauteng le phasalatsa di adverts ngwaga le ngwaga gore di NGO tseo tse ileng gore di na le kgatlhego go thusa mo mererong ya metshameko le boitapoloso di tshwanetse go dirisa tšhono e gore batho le ba setšhaba ka kakaretso ba kgone go tsena dintlha tsa metshameko.
For those non-governmental organizations involved in arts and culture, there is a similar thing called the Gauteng Arts and Culture Council, and they also advertise for proposals from community organizations for funding every year in February and March. And again, that is the place for those of you who are running traditional dance groups, drum majorettes, and all these small local culture organizations. That is the place to apply for funding.
Gona le se se bidiwang gore ke Gauteng Arts and Culture Council e leng gore le yona e rata gore e thuse di NGO tse di ratang go tshwaragana le lona go dira tiro e.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Ke leboga thata modulasetulo o tlotlegang.
Thank you very much, MEC Chrissy. Without any waste of time, I will call upon the Deputy Minister of the Basic Education, Honorable Suthi.
Dumelang.
Greetings, everyone.
Well, you know, say halala, Comrade Barbara Chrissy halala. She's done a wonderful job.
Lore halala Barbara o dirile tiro e ntle e le tota.
And I don't want to, given the time, I don't want to spend too much time. I'll just deal with two important issues.
Le ka ntlha ya go borisilwe ke nako ga ke batle go ya lolololo ke batla go ntsha dintlha di le pedi fela.
The one is about bursaries.
E nngwe e ka ga di bursary
and the other is about the curriculum.
le e nngwe e ka ga curriculum.
With regard to bursaries, we can celebrate the fact that this government, the government of the African National Congress,
Malebana
spends
le-
more than 3.2 billion rands every year.
malebana le dibasare re ka itumelela gore puso eno ya ANC e dirisa madi a ka nnang a kgotsa a fetang 3.2 billion go tlamela ka tsone.
The money is allocated for universities, universities of technology, and FET colleges.
Madi ano a tlamelwa kgotsa a romelwa kwa di-university tsa technology le di-university tsa dithuto tse di ntseng jalo tse di kwa godimo.
Just in terms of FET colleges, more than 800 million rands per annum is spent on students enrolling in the FET colleges.
Madi a fetang 800 billion ngwaga le ngwaga one a romelwa mo ditheong tsa EFT go thusa ka tsone.
And in the past 3 years, the enrollment in FET colleges has more than doubled.
Me palo ya ba ba ikwadisang mo di-college tsa EFT mo dingwageng di le mmalwa kgotsa tse pedi tse di fetileng e menagane sebedi.
From approximately 360,000 to more than
Go
720,000.
tswa mo e ka nnang 360,000 go ya go palo ya e fetang 700,000.
FET colleges are available and accessible to people all over the country, including Tswane.
Ditheo tsa thuto tsa EFT di teng botlhe ba ka kgona go tsena mo go tsone go akareletsa le mo dikarolong tsa Tshwane.
Gradually, what is being done is to improve the allocation that is made to students at universities and universities of technology.
Se se ntseng se dirwa kgato ka kgato ke go dira gore go nne le ditokafalo mo ditheong tse di ntseng jalo mo Tshwane gore batho ba kgone go fitlhelela thuto
The
eo.
Ministry of Higher Education and Training is of the view that they have to provide for accommodation, for textbooks, and for subsistence in order to ensure that learners who come from very poor communities do not drop out as a result of acute poverty.
Lefapha le lebeletse ebile le batla go dira gore botlhe ba ba tswang mo ba ba dikobo di magetleng ba ba tlileng go ithuta mo ditheong tseno tse ba kgone go tlamelwa ka manno ka marobalo dibuka tsa go ithuta jalo le jalo e le gore ha ntse nako e tsamaya ba seke ba tlogela sekolo.
And already an announcement has been made for those students who do well, who pass in the given time, the third year, that those fees are going to be waived, and progressively we want to encourage learners to do better and waive the payment of our bursaries
Ebile
allocation.
go setse go dirilwe le dikitsiso tsa gore ba le bantsi ba baithuti ba ba dirang sentle ba ba tsena mo ditheong tseno tse ba tla tlhokomelwa ka madi a go tshwana le a e le gore tuelelo ya dithuto tseo e seke ya wela mo magetleng a bone.
At the level of schools, we can take pride in the fact that 8 out of every 10 children go to no-fee schools where they pay no fees at all.
Mme ebile gape re ka itumelela gore bana ba ka nna robedi mo go bangwe le bangwe ba le 10 le bone ba romelwa mo dikolong tseo ba thuswang le go tlamelwa ka tsa thuto mo go tsone gore ba kgone go gatela pele.
We also can take pride in the fact that approximately 9 million children in primary schools and high schools are being fed every day
Ebile
through
re-
our national nutrition scheme.
Ebile re itumelela fela thata le gore bana ba ka nna 900 mo dikolong tse dinnye tsa primary ba tlamelwa le go fepiwa letsatsi le letsatsi e le go bana tlhokomelo e ba e tlhokang ba tlhome mogopolo mo go tsa thuto.
But education is not about what happens in grade 12 only. It starts off in preschool.
Mme thuto ga e simolole fela ko mophatong wa 12 o simolola ba santsane ba le banyenyane.
Today, more than 780,000 children are in grade R in our schools.
Gompieno jaana mo dikolong tsa rona re na le bana ba ba leng mo grade R ba ka nnang 780,000.
Recently, Statistics South Africa has released data which indicates that approximately 90% of our children have at least 1 year of preschool education.
Morago jaana re nnile le dipalopalo tse di bontshang gore bana ba le bantsi ba bannyane ba kgonne go simolola sekolo pele ga sekolo se se tlwaelegileng sa go ithuta palo ya bone ya boitshega.
We have provided workbooks from grades 1, from grade R, right to grade 9 to promote literacy and numeracy.
Re ile ra ba tlamela ka dibuka go tswa go grade R go fitlha kwa grade 9 ka dibuka tse e le gore re kgone go ba thusa go kgona go ithuta go bala le go kwala.
More than 120 million books have been provided to our children in all official languages.
Re tlametse bana ba rona ka dibuka tse di fetang 120,000 ka dipuo tsotlhe tsa semmuso.
Every child in grade 10, 11, and 12 receives a textbook in mathematics and science.
Ngwana mongwe le mongwe yo mo go grade 9, 10, 11 o kgona go newa buka tsa science gore ba kgone go ithuta ka
And
tsona.
slowly, with our colleagues such as Barbara Creasy and the other MECs, we are moving towards the goal of having every child receiving a book in every grade, in every subject.
mme re ipetse mokgele rona le mme Barbara gore ngwana mongwe le mongwe yo mo mophatong o rileng a kgone go nna le ya gagwe buka e a tla ithutang ka yone le gore a tswelele pele go dira kgatelopele mo go tsa thuto.
But all this is of no value if we do not motivate and inspire our children, as one of the persons had spoken. What do we do to motivate our children?
mme seno ga se kitla se thusa ka sepe ga re sa ba tlhotlheletse bana ba rona le go ba rotloetsa e le gore ba dirise didirisiwa
We must
tseo.
encourage them to do their homework, to utilize the workbooks,
Re batla go ba rotloetsa gore ba dire tiro ya bone ya sekolo ya ko gae ba dirise dibuka tseo
and inspire them to do well.
le go ba rotloetsa gore ba dire sentle mo dithutong tsa bone.
And indeed, they are doing well.
mme ebile se se monate ke gore ba dira sentle.
And we hope that the matriculants this year produce results over 75%.
ebile re solofetse gore ba ba mo matriki mo ngwageng ono o ba tla re naya dipholo tse di fetang 70%.
With regard to the curriculum itself,
malebana le curriculum ka bo yona
it's important that we understand that history forms an important part of our learning experience.
go botlhokwa gore re tlhaloganye history ya maitemogelo a re nnileng le one a malebana le go ithuta.
Already in the primary school, learners are taught to write about themselves, their families, their communities, and reflect on the contributions that the leaders make within those communities.
ga jaanong jaana bana ba ba mo dikolong tse dinnyane ba setse ba rutwa gore ba kgone go kwala ka bo bone go kwala ka malapa a bone ka maitemogelo a bone le maitemogelo otlhe a ba nnileng le one mo gare ga loago.
In order to understand who we are, it's important to understand where we come from.
gore re kgone go tlhaloganya gore tota re bomang go botlhokwa gore re tlhaloganye kwa re tswang teng.
And therefore, the ruling party has said that history should indeed be a compulsory subject.
ka jalo lekoko le le busang la re ka jalo history e tshwanetse gore e nne serutwa se se patelesegang gore motho a se ithute.
So that we share our past
e le gore re tla re kgone go tlotla le go lotlega ka tsa nako ya rona e fetileng
and understand our past so that it can shape our future.
le go tlhaloganya ko re tswang teng e le gore re tla re kgone go bona isago ya rona sentle.
Now, the curriculum itself, therefore, deals with this particular element, but we are saying we must go a step further.
ka jalo curriculum e ama dilo tseno mme se re se buang ke gore a re direng kgatelopele re dire go feta moo.
And therefore, there is a conversation within government as to how we should do this.
ka jalo puso e tshwaragane le go tshwara ditherisano tsa gore re tlile go dira seno ka tsela efe.
Do we do it as a subject? Do we do it as part of life orientation and life skills?
a re tlile go dira seno gore e nne serutwa kgotsa a re tlile go dira seno e nne go katisediwa tsa botshelo kgotsa jang.
And all these implications are being considered.
mme dilo tseno tsotlhe tse di santsane di jelwa marapo a tlhogo.
Our appeal to you as the audience is to say that the president has said that education is an apex priority and should be elevated to a societal issue.
mme re ikuela mo go lona fela jaaka moporesidente le ena a ile a dira gore thuto e lejwe e le selo se se botlhokwa go di feta tsotlhe mme re tsenyeng letsogo go diragatsa seo.
And it means that we have to take responsibility with government to ensure that we regard education as our collective responsibility.
mme re tshwanetse gore re tshwaraganeng le puso ya rona go bontsha gore tota re leba thuto e le karolo e botlhokwa.
Let me thank, as I conclude, the chairperson of the NCOP, the deputy chairperson, and all the members of the NCOP for their enormous contribution in taking parliament to the people.
mma ke koneleng fano fa ka go leboga mo NCOP wa rona le mothusi wa gagwe le maloko otlhe a rona a NCOP ka thuso eo le nnileng le yona e re fitlheletseng.
It is all about listening to the concerns of our people wherever they might be.
seno ke se se amana le go reetsa dingongorego le maikuelo a batho gongwe le gongwe ko re yang teng.
And as you visit the areas, you recognize that although we have achieved much, there are enormous challenges ahead of us.
mme ga re ntse re etela mafelo a a farologaneng re kgona go bona gore le fa gone go na le dilo tse re di fitlheletseng go santsane go na le mo go ntsi go go dira.
And unless we hear them and are better able to understand them, we would not be able to succeed in this
mme
challenge.
ga re sa di utlwi re sa kgone go di tlhaloganya ga re ka ke ra kgona go diragatsa tiro ya
Ke a
rona.
leboga. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister. Siyacela kunesikhwama esilahlekile, the black cosmetic bag ebhalwe City of Tshwane. Sicela abantu bayenze ubuntu abasitholile leso sikhwama sicela basilethela ngaphambili. I will then call upon the Deputy Minister of Arts and Culture, Honorable Phahla.
Ke a leboga motshwara modiro, ke leboga sebaka seo mpileng sona. Ke dumedise batho ba mo Soshanguve, setšhaba sa Soshanguve, re tobela. Ga gona dipušišo tše ntši tše e leng gore di mo kgorong ya rena ya arts and culture e ka no ba tše pedi tše tharo. Go na le ba bantšinyana ba botšitšeng ka mabapi le di-library gore di-library di a hlokega mo ba dulang gona. Tše dingwe di-library ga di na le ditlabakelo tša go tshwana le enough ya dibuka le di-computer and so on. Taba tše monateng ka di tlisitsang tšona ke gore re bereka ga mmogo le ba province bona bo MEC Lebogang Maile le ba di masepala ka go fela. Re na le lenaneo la go aga di-library mo mafelong a madulo ka go fela. Re na le an allocation, a grant, e bitswang conditional grant e tswang from the treasury e leng gore ka mengwaga e meraro e tlang the next MTEF from gona bjalo ka 2013-2014 for the next 3 financial years ba re okeleditse ditšhelete tšeo tsa library grant. So ka yona library grant eo re berekišana le ba di-province le ba di-masepala gore re age di-library tše dintšha ebile re kaonafatse di-library tse di leng gona mo di-community mo. Gape-gape ka yona grant eo re na le go supporta di-province le masepala gore ba kaonafatse ditlabakelo tše di leng mo di-library e ka ba dibuka, di-furniture, e ka ba even le yona computer network, internet services gore di be gona mo di-library mo. So re tla isala morago di-area tse batho ba di raisitseng mo go nang le probleme tsa di-library re di notile re tla di follow up ga mmogo le MEC le ba masepala ba mo Tshwane mo re utlwile le bona gore ba busy ba na le ka mokgwa le bona ba supportang go developa di-library. Maikemišetšo a rena mo di-library ke gore re na le phišegelo ya gore go ya mo pele mola every ward in South Africa e be le at least one library. That's our intention going forward. Really ke gore ward e ka ba in the urban area, e ka ba in the rural area, every ward e be le a community library of a good quality mo e leng gore batho ga ba nyaka information e ka ba e leng gore ke ya go supporta ko dikolong from the community, whatever information ba kgone go ka kry-a ko library. So ke program e leng gore re busy ka yona, so re tla isala morago gore mo go santse go shota mo Tshwane, in the area ya Tshwane mo Soshanguve le ditikologo re bone gore re tla berekišana le ba province le ba city of Tshwane gore re lokise bo. Go na le ba mmalwa ba boletseng ka di art centers, di community art centers gore di a nyakega. Ka mo saeteng ya di art centers nakong ya peleng some previous years around both the year late 90s and early 2000 go le go ba le a grant le yona e leng gore e be le ka go supporta di community art centers. Ke tseba ka yona ka gore ka nako eo ne ke le ko Limpopo kwa ke tswere gona mo education le arts le culture re be go be gona le that grant e fela go ba le some of the challenges in le gore mafelong a mangata mo wa agilwe go di art center tseo ne o kry-a gore di agilwe e fela ga gona le di program tse leng gore they keep those art centers really functioning. Tse dingata tsa tsona o kry-a gore ga di fedile mola o kry-a tse le di center mo go berekiswang for the weddings and the funerals and other gatherings. So that's why later on that grant ile a fetsa ile discontinued. Mara ga ile gore go na le a lot of motivation and demand rena from the Department of Arts and Culture re ka e bulela gape gore re bolelele ba treasury re bone gore ba ka kgona gore thusa ka yona that kind of financial support. E fela go tlo nyaka gore re be le very solid motivation ya go bontsha gore indeed there are programs. Rena from our department we are convinced gore the art center ga mmogo le even theaters a tsa swanela gore di be fela in the cities le mo in the rural communities and in the townships. Re aware gore Gauteng gagolo ko Johannesburg municipality for instance ba really a very beautiful theater ko Soweto kwa re duma gore di theater tsa di tshwana le tsa bo Soweto theater di be gona all over in the townships and also in the rural municipalities. So it's a matter e leng gore re tla ba re šala morago le our colleagues in the provinces le ba di masepala. Ke nagana gore motshwara modiro o ka re ke tsona tse malonyana tse ne di le gona mo re leboga sebaka se le re fileng sona re leboge ba NCOP gore le ka moso ba fele ba re fa sebaka gore le rena re interacte le community re leboga sebaka se ke a leboga.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister. Unfortunately, the buses are leaving because our people have been transported from various areas of Tshwane to this destination. So, singamangali masiboni holo logo lihafuleka ngenxa yamabhasi. Then I will call upon the last honorable member, Deputy Minister of Sport and Recreation, Honorable Wosteza. In Gauteng is combination, we don't have two separate departments.
Chairperson, thank you so much. To the honorable members of the NCOP, honorable councillors present, honorable MEC, members of the Mayoral Committee present, honorable deputy ministers present, Nkare MMC ba di papadi buile sentle mo di facilities li lo se batho ba buile bone.
Tona Koliadi ya tsa metshameko ya province o buile bontle thata ka taba tsa metshameko.
I just want to touch on 3 or 4 things that I think is important.
Ke rata go bua ka dintlha tse tharo ho ya ho tse nne tse di leng botlhokwa.
The one is that we have concluded on a national sport and recreation plan which was adopted by cabinet.
Re na le leano le le amohetsweng ke kabinete le le leng mabapi le tsa metshameko le boitapoloso.
In that sport and recreation plan, it tells us that we must do one, a facilities audit. In other words, we must find out where do we have facilities, what type of facilities do we have, and where do we need some facilities.
Banong leano le le re bolella hore re tshwanetse re ahe ditheo tse di ntseng jang moo ba reng ho tla direlwa metshameko mo teng le hore e tshwanetse e nne mabala a ntseng bjang.
And that audit will be completed by November, end of next month this year.
Leano le le tlo fetswa ka November ngwaho tlang.
What we've in the meantime done, as the MMC eloquently discussed with you, we've rolled out facilities as we saw the need.
Yaanong he le ya ka re buile le lona hona le mafelo o ba reng re abile mafelo a metshameko le boitapoloso ya ka mo ho lebelletswe hore ho tlhokega thata mo kae.
But the aim of government is to ensure that in every community, in every ward, we have a sporting facility.
Yaanong maikemisetso a puso ke hore mo lefelong lengwe le lengwe o tshwanetse o nne le mabala a metshameko.
And that we have regional sporting academies.
Re nne le di-academy tsa mafelo kgotsa ditikologo or di-region.
And that we will have provincial sporting academies and the national sporting academy.
Re nne le di-academy tsa di-province, re nne le di-academy tsa di-sports tsa naga.
And you will see when you talk to OD Stadium,
Ha o bua ka Odi Stadium,
as we speak at the moment, we are demolishing that old structure.
yaanong he ha re bua ga yana re ra se wisa stadium sa Odi.
We are putting there a multi-purpose sporting center for the entire region so that our children's talent can be developed to the full potential.
Lefelo lela e tlo nna multi-purpose sports center sa region e otlhe.
The sports plan also tells us that school sports is important.
Le barati ba metshameko ba re bolella hore metshameko e ko dikolong e botlhokwa thata.
And this is why the Department of Basic Education have, in partnership with us, reintroduced physical education into the curriculum of school sport.
Re berekisana le lefapha la thuto hore re kgone ho tsenya metshameko mo thutong.
We have developed manuals
Re na le di-manual tse re di tlhabolotseng
in collaboration with Basic Education to empower the teachers so that they know what to do when we talk about school sport and physical education.
re berekisana le lefapha la thuto le go matlafatsa barutabana hore ba kgone go utlwisisa gore metshameko mo thutong ke eng.
We've gone further with basic education and we have introduced 2 sporting codes compulsory in every school in South Africa.
Mo dikolong tse potlana re tsentshitse metshameko e mebedi eo ba reng e tla nna ya kgapeletso re dirwe mo dikolong tsa potlana bo di-primary yalo.
We want to see Wednesdays and Saturdays a high activity of sports.
Ka bo
our children
Lamatlhatso,
playing.
re rata go bona metshameko, re rata go bona bana ba sekolo ba tshameka mo mabaleng a.
And this is where we get the talent, taking them, like this year again for the second year in a row, to a national school sport championship that will be held here in Tshwane region again.
Yaanong he hore ba tsentse mo metshamekong ngwaga o e tla nna wa bobedi mo tla nnang le metshameko ya Tshwane region ya Tshwane mo tla nnang le di-competition tsa teng.
We do exactly that because we want to see every person to develop their talent to the full potential. We want to see South Africans winning medals at the Olympic Games every time we go there.
Re dira seo ka gore re rata go bona bana ba rona ba tshameka metshameko ebile ba nna le di-medal mo dikgaisanong tsa boditšhabatšhaba.
We have various other programs. I don't want to bore you with all of them, but I just want to react to one. There was a lady reacting here telling us that in the Golden Games, the men are not really participating.
Yaanong he re rata go bona metshameko e aparetse setšhaba sotlhe. Go na le mme o nang lla mo a re banna e ka re ba saletse morago mo tabeng tsa metshameko.
Ne, re tla bua le bone, ne?
We will speak to them.
Yes, but I want to encourage you to join us in the big walk that we've launched. It's very successful.
Yaanong he ke rata gore le bona ba ikamaganye le leeto la rena le letelele le le tla kgonang go thusa.
And the big walk is for families, from a small child to the grandfather and the grandmother. We want you to partake in that because it creates a healthy life, but it also fosters family cohesion and it bonds a family doing things outdoors together.
Yaanong big walk ke ya batho botlhe ngwana o fitlha ka nkoko ka ntatemoholo seo se thusa gore mebele ya bona le yona e ikatisege bophelo ba bona e be bophelo bo bo siameng.
We ask all of you to take our hands as we go forward, taking sport to a greater heights in this country, unearthing all the talent in all corners, because by working together, we do more. I thank you.
Ke rata gore re tshwaragane ka matsogo re tlhaise talente mo nageng ya rona ka gore ga re tshwaragane re tla dira ka natla ke a le leboga.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister. We request that the ANC members of Parliament must remain behind when we're done. And also, there's an announcement that due to the unrest in Temba, which is in Amanskral, the site visit to water treatment plant has been postponed. Let me take this opportunity to thank our community members for participating in this process. And I request that bana ba tshwereng di submission bana ba batla go raise dintho hape untso na le ditafole ka morao ka mane le se ditletlebo tsa lona mo ka morao ka mane le tse di submission tsa lona and then re tla di attend. Then I would like to, on behalf of the NCOP in the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, to thank you, Honorable Deputy Ministers, Honorable Deputy Minister Suthi, Honorable Deputy Minister Wosteisen, Honorable Deputy Minister Patla, Honorable MEC Chrissy, and Councillor Makgate MMC for City of Tshwane. Thank you very much for coming to this meeting. It shows that really we're a caring government who account to the people. Once more, thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned. Re thotse ka di-key, ne re kopa motho a latlileng di-key. A tlo di nka mona tafoleng. Ke belt na le key tse pedi.